Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Oh. We're alive. What up? Oh. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Ah, I needed yesterday off. I won't lie. Dude, I'll be honest. That stream I did, playing FNAF, that was the most fun I've had streaming in a long time. But that absolutely drained me, dude. I had to take like 2 days off after that. Streamers truly have it rough. They do have it rough. I enjoyed that, though. I want to do more stuff like that. FNAF 2. We're not doing FNAF 2 today. I got to pack and stuff because I'm moving. But we will do FNAF 2. We should set FNAF 2 as a goal, I feel. And you're still wearing the same shirt. Okay, you know what a washing machine is, right? You do know what a washing machine is. You do know what a washing machine is, right? Right? I'm not homeless, bro. It's like, no, a washing machine exists. Are we set to move and stay this time? Well, I looked at streaming in Australia because, chat, if you... I've kind of mentioned a couple of times, but in case anyone doesn't know, I'm actually moving to Australia for a while. Not sure how long for yet. I got some people over there and my sister's over there, so it's a bit of a big move, but I'll be honest with you, like, I'm just so done with the UK, man. I'm so done with the UK. It's so boring. The UK is so lame. I basically had two choices because I can't go anywhere in Europe because of Brexit for a couple months because I'm on cooldown. I'm literally on, like, ban cooldown. So I could go to London because I've got some people in London, but then I have to move to London, so I will end up depressed in like a week. And the other option was to go to Australia because my sister's over there. And obviously there's loads of people I know over there, like Swagger and Fitz and Cold Ones, and there's nothing in London. There's actually nothing, dude. Like, every time I go to London, it's so ass. It's so ass. I was talking to Seth Everman about this. It's like, he was like, yeah, I would love to go to London. It's a great place. So no, it's not, bro. It sucks. Also, I got these. See that? Little Death Stranding. I bought these like a year ago. It's official. But I only just found them now. I want to take them with me to Australia. Thank you, N, for the 6. System Shock 2... Anniversary dev again. Have you played more? Thoughts on the remaster? I finished it.
Finished Squid Game. No spoilers. It's not as bad as everyone
says
bad.
It is. It is bad.
Honestly think the ending makes a ton of sense.
It's bad. Capitalism le bad, but we could have had a different ending. Did you play more of System Shock 2? I beat it off stream. Like, that's the furthest I ever got, is beating it. Because I usually get past... I get to engineering... no, I get to hydroponics and then I get bored and I quit. But I finished the whole game. I did it first try. I get to brag about this. Hang on. I get to brag about this. I beat it first try on a impossible difficulty, by the way. Impossible difficulty. Where's my Reddit gold? Where's my Reddit gold? Where's my Reddit gold, please? 1.3% of people have the achievement, by the way. Where's my Reddit gold, please?
Are you moving to Australia so you can be close to your Pookie Dolan Dark? Wedding when?
The wedding is next month. Everyone's invited. Well, no, I'm moving to Melbourne so I can go to Australia and kill him. Thank you, Valem, for the 10. Your peepsicle will get bit by a Brazilian spider. Well, I'm going to be in an apartment, so thankfully, I won't be...
Mate, why can't you turn around? Pyro, why the hell are you going to the new world? Your ass is gonna get bitten by a Ratalos, a Rothian, and you'll probably be gooning off to the local fat Jagras.
Isn't Jagras that thing that would like vor creatures in Monster Hunter? The big iguana? But yeah, I finished System Shock 2. It's really solid. Really solid. Good job on that remaster. You actually made me finish the game. I will be honest, some parts of System Shock 2 kind of mid. Like, once, I remember like, once I reached the Rickenbacker, I was like, okay, I kind of want the game to be over now. But to be fair, that's like...
Take the before moving out the title and it would be the best stream ever.
Shut up. My final stream? What, because I'm quitting?
Pyro, I have suffered every second of your stream. How much to end it?
How much to end it? $1 million. That'd be worth it. Leave enough to my family. Yeah, System Shock 2 was really good, though. I think the last 2 levels are kind of mid, I won't lie. But, like, that's not something a remaster can fix, right? What are you playing in the background? It's part of the System Shock soundtrack. Of course a fairy profile picture, by the way, of course. Of course. Yeah, the game is goated, though. I was going to stream it, but it's not really a game you can stream. I don't know, it's not really a streaming game. It's a little bit slow for a streaming game. Good luck on the move. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oops.
We're really doing 20 fart sounds.
Less than 3.
Thank you, Annan, for the $35. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that.
Is easier to get. You don't have to be ashamed. You're a beautiful lady.
Yeah, guys, that's why I'm going to Australia, by the way. I'm secretly trans. I haven't told anyone, and I'm going to get HRT. Wait, that's the wrong one. What's the other one? Estrogen. There we go. Yep. I'm going to be taking estrogen every day. Put the vape down. Why are some of you so obsessed, bro? Like, it's literally Play-Doh, because I'm autistic. Like, dude, is your profile picture a TV head? Point and left. Thank you, Marius, for joining. Thank you, Azriel, for the 15 months. What hours do you think you'll be streaming in the land down under? Yeah, so someone asked this. I got distracted. So I did the math, and for me to stream at a time that is like, you know, I don't end up killing myself in a week, I'd have to stream at like 7 in the morning. I'm used to getting up at like 1 in the afternoon at the minute, but I can fix my sleep for that. If anything, it'll give me a routine and actually help me a lot. The only other option I have to catch as many people as possible is to start streaming at 3 in the morning and stream until like 7 in the morning. And it's like, I'm not doing that. I would actually just become a sad hermit. Like, I'm not doing that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to take me about a week to experiment. The plan, the nice plan would be to, you know, actually stream on the days in the morning and then do things in the day for the channel, do recordings, do stuff for the, you know, going to sets, getting all the business stuff done. And a stream is a first thing. The only thing I'm worried about is if I'm streaming at 7 till 12, like 7 in the morning, I'm worried I might be a little bit low energy because it's the start of the day. But I don't know. I don't know. But basically, I can't stream in... I can't stream the way I am now. Because if I streamed now in Australia, I just have no views.
Either put the Play-Doh down your throat or put it in your urethra. It'd be funny for content. Now, when's the sounding stream? What's
a sounding stream? Thank you, Bloodborne 2, Dev.
My name is Jeff.
Please shut up. My name's Jeff. Why is the mic so crooked, man? Listen to that.
Thanks for teaching me how to beat FNAF BTW. Big fat wet kisses to you, my fellow lesbian. P.S. Are you actually moving to Australia? I just got here.
Dude, it sounds like a door you open in like a horror game like Resident Evil. What's your opinion on stop killing games? I get asked this every stream. There is no point in me making a stop killing games video. It's so redundant now. But I fully support it 100%. Like, you should own the games that you buy. Shouldn't have it like swept under your feet afterwards. I made a video about it, talking about the pirate software stuff. I was like one of the first people to talk about Ross's response, I think. And then Charlie talked about it, I think, a little bit later. But yeah, thank you, Goose, for the 13. Thank you, Rose, for the 10. Thank you, Pro, for joining. Thank you, Estrogen Cynical, for the 10. That's crazy. That is crazy. Your hero, Pirate Software, is having a fit? When did I ever say it was my hero? Did you hear about Diddy? Oh, I did. And I saw that Charlie covered it 2 hours after the news dropped. Oh, all I can say, bro, enjoy that 30 grand. Oh my God. The views on that will actually be godly. Can you address your latest video? Which one? The H3 video or the sponsor? They were both slop. I mean, the sponsor video, we're using the money on that to go straight into Fear and Hunger to pay off like a set and stuff. And the H3 video, yeah, I'm kind of done. Oh, wait, I saw... hang on a minute. I wanted to go over this, actually. Because Ethan actually ended up... I think Ethan ended up responding, actually. Hang on, I'll see if I can find it. Give me a second. We got a response.
Are you bringing your big shoe this time?
Am I bringing the big shoe? I can't fit the big shoe. I can't fit it anywhere. I'm gonna try and get it sent off to me though, like shipped to me. But yeah, I can't. It won't fit. If I bring the big shoe, that means like no clothes, nothing. I just take the big shoe and that's it. Hang on, I'll see if I can find this. Where was it again? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so apparently, for context here, I mean, no one really cares. I did a video talking about the H3 lawsuit and the update. You know, how, like, Frogan, Denims, Caseytron were all talking about their response and stuff like that. About how they're all being sued. They're all doing GoFundMes. And then we got one bit of info in the slop wrong.
Pyro, love the Freddy Fatbear stream. When are you streaming FNAF 2?
I am going to stream FNAF 2, I will. I need to set up in Australia first, though. But yeah. So, he said, the fact I need to explain to half the internet I was kidding when I said I didn't know Shaun the Black was black is honestly disturbing. So apparently he made a joke. It was like Shaun the Black. He was like political commentary guy. Like, the joke is he's black. And... yeah, I basically made this bit in the video being like, Ethan had no idea. It shows how out of touch he is. And then he's obviously pointed this out and then said, and second of all, dude, fire your barber unless you ask to look like Hillary Clinton. Bruh! Like, I can't even tell if that's a callback to like my face reveal. You know, the Hillary clit thing?
Hey Pyro, can you check out the Neverhood Chronicles? It's a very cool game from 1995, and it's a masterpiece. The soundtrack and aesthetic are just amazing. Would love to see you play it sometime.
Oh, there's a guy that I commissioned who, like, loves this game. Yeah, I've seen this game before. It's really that old? I'm gonna get added into the lawsuit. Could you imagine? Yeah, because he was gonna add Shaun the Black into the lawsuit, but then he basically came out and he was like, "It was a prank. I was fooling you." And then all my comments were just talking about Palestine and Israel. So yeah. Is that blue thing a pacifier? Play-Doh. All right. What do we got today? I'm doing FNAF 2. I'm not doing FNAF 2 today, but I'm going to do FNAF 2. I do want to do FNAF 2. Like, this stream is just to build up some, like, reaction stuff, because obviously I got a pack in that tomorrow. So I don't have time for, like, super high energy stream. I really want to. The problem is, I was meant to get my flight on Sunday, but I was so tired when I booked the flight, I booked the wrong flight. So I booked it for Friday instead. So basically, I need to pack, and I'm working today because I got to pack and, like, do everything tomorrow. And then I get deported out the UK. Did you finish FNAF 1? Bro, I got 2020 mode. What are you on about? I beat the whole game in 4 hours. You should have been there. You should have been there. Right, what we got? What we got? What we got, eh? Why Gen Z is facing a career apocalypse. I cannot wait for you guys to be talking in chat and coping about this one.
According to the Wall Street Journal, Gen Z graduates are facing the worst job market in over a decade, with Anthropic CEO warning that AI could eliminate nearly half of all entry-level jobs just within the next 5 years. And while 72% of Gen Z lives paycheck to paycheck,
I like how boomers will tell you how hard they had it and they bought a house for like $50.
nearly half are working 3 or more jobs just to survive. Raising the question, why is Gen Z yet another generation promised a future that no longer exists?
Thank you, Hollow, for the 14
While obtaining
months.
a lifelong career was once as straightforward as simply answering a job post in the local newspaper or a firm
I remember when I stayed in Sweden for a bit, and apparently it was so hard to get a job over there, like, unironically. Like, you know how everyone says, like, you know, being a burger flipper or something is like a low-end job?
5 Nights at Freddy games? Or just the scary ones?
I don't know, maybe all of them, maybe the scary ones, I'm not sure. It'd be nice to do a marathon. Thank you for the 10 rows, has big boobs. What? Thank you, for the 10 months. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say, like, you know, like, oh, working at, like, McDonald's or Burger King, it's, like, a low-end deadbeat job. But, like, no, it's not. But even in Sweden, you could not get those jobs. There were no jobs to get. Like, high-up jobs, less qualification jobs. It was just impossible.
handshake prompted by a help wanted sign in the window. Today,
I mean, chat. Okay, chat. Most of you are probably Gen Z, right? Most of you are probably Gen Z here. What jobs do you guys have? The J word. I am saying the J word.
despite 75% of employers
I want to see Pyro fan base. So I want to see
job vacancies.
Nursery teacher, carrot. That's not a job. None. Yep, that adds up. I'm a teacher. Web developer. Why is your profile picture me when I was fat? No jobs, no games. Junior systems architect. Sales rep, NHS. I work for free. Yeah, same. Pyro viewer. How is that a job? How is that a job, by the way? Explain that one. I'm a flight attendant. Really? Dude, what if you got put on my flight on Friday? That'd be hilarious. What else we got? Fent dealer, self-employed, detective. You're a detective? I don't believe that. What, on like Gmod RP or something, or like in real life? Archaeologist? The Joker? Okay, that's it. That's it.
The second highest rate in 2 decades.
Dude, do not say vaping is a job. L.
2022 study of over 300 job applications submitted by business.com.
Thank you, Hatless, the 25 months.
Found that only
being laid off for the summer because I work at a school while being a college student sucks because I can't file unemployment and job searching sucks.
12% received any response from employers. Just 5% expressed interest in the app.
Hospice care? That's actually like a really noble profession, actually. I respect that.
Applicant, and not a single
okay, what did you say Batman is your job?
Application resulted in a hire, where employers were actually more likely to ghost candidates if the graduate met over 90% of the listed requirements. And although
retail slave, yeah, retail slave sounds about right. Like, working in retail is actual hell, man. Like, I got nothing but respect.
Job postings have been weaponized to serve employer interests throughout most of modern history, most notably during the Civil Rights era, where employers flooded local job boards to portray government compliance by suggesting they were doing everything in their power to offer equal hiring opportunities.
Someone said Asmongold chat mod.
But just that no one was applying. The recent implementation of ghost jobs has essentially scaled greed and manipulation into a fully normalized and institutionally accepted hiring practice. Where in a recent survey by My Perfect Resume, 81% of recruiters admitted their organization had posted fake job listings, with 21% acknowledging that half their listings had no intention of...
CEO of the Reddit Bureau of Investigation. I actually really want to look up that subreddit. The Reddit Bureau of Investigation. I just want to see what kind of post they actually make on there. Unknown person has been harassing my husband. Robert Fisher murdered his family. Shoe print ID. Famous actor missing from 20 years.
Of resulting in a hire. And while some ghost jobs are simply the result of outdated or forgotten postings, many are deliberately created as a strategic tool to generate billions of dollars in hidden profits. Where journalist Bob Sullivan notes that every week, data from 75% of Fortune 500 companies, 85% of the federal workforce, and countless institutions flows into these databases, tracking everything from social security numbers and salaries to healthcare coverage and job tenure, with companies like Facebook, Amazon, Oracle, AT&T, and Microsoft feeding data into these systems. Where globally, Rikunabi, a major job-seeking platform in Japan that primarily caters to college graduates or those just entering the workforce, was caught selling...
I feel so bad for Japanese salarymen. They actually have some of the hardest hours and least amount of pay I've ever seen in my life. Have you seen that thing where like the last train out of like Tokyo Central, and then when all the salarymen miss it, they just end up getting plastered and stuff outside because it's like, well, I'm screwed.
Predictive scores gathered through job applications to roughly 40
Moma, for
corporations,
31 months.
including Toyota and Mitsubishi, estimating how likely each applicant was to decline a job offer or withdraw their application. And because Japan's lifetime employment system promises job security for life in exchange for loyalty to a single company, the sale of these scores had an immeasurable impact on someone's entire career path. And while this was only uncovered due to Japan's data privacy laws, unlike the United States, which still relies on so-called business ethics, it turns out that Rikunabi is a subsidiary of Recruit Group, the same media conglomerate that owns both Indeed and Glassdoor, where according to an analysis by the workforce analytics firm Revelio Labs, as a result of platforms like Indeed, Glassdoor, and LinkedIn, online job listings in 2024
makeup video where you weren't wearing trouser ears. I need goon material.
All right, I'll unlist it.
were only half
I'll make it public again.
as likely to result in a hire as they were in 2020, signaling just how widespread and normalized these deceitful listings have become as a corporate recruiting strategy. And while the Library of Congress has officially recognized ghost jobs as a serious concern in today's job market, the fact of the matter is, we're facing not just a hiring crisis.
I mean, it was at that company WeWork as well. Like, I'm amazed that WeWork is still around. All those like ghost offices and stuff they had.
But decades of societal abandonment
Job listing websites are evil.
of the working class, with a culture that blames every
I just always see when I'm in town, there's always new job centers that are opening up as well. Thank you, Learn Games, for the 7. My vape charger is dead. Can I borrow yours? I don't vape.
rising cost and systemic failure on what should be considered
Jobs are evil. Very true. We should all just get money for free.
fundamental worker rights, where despite job scams and fake employment agency fraud increasing from $90 million in 2020 to over $500 million in 2024, and even as legislators in New Jersey, Kentucky, and California have proposed bills to address ghost listings, no legislation has been introduced in Congress that explicitly targets this issue, or any of the systemic forces that have been undermining the workforce.
Just do a rug pull instead of a job. Do you know how many people would actually seriously do that?
For the last
How many people have done that?
5 decades, where in my opinion, one of the most massively understated reasons this continues to happen actually has to do with government tax subsidies. Where Greg Leroy, executive director of Good Jobs First, a national policy center focused on corporate and government accountability and economic development, explains on his website and in his book, The Great American Job Scam, how tens of billions of taxpayer dollars are funneled into corporate tax subsidies under the promise of job creation. But instead, it often leads to widespread layoffs through automation and outsourcing.
Jeff Bezos gets like $5 billion from the government. It's like, okay, I promise there'll be more jobs. Instead, he just has like a really epic wedding with Leonardo DiCaprio and shuts half a city down.
Despite companies still keeping the full tax breaks, ultimately turning into a redistribution of public funds back into the hands of certain government officials in the form of campaign contributions during re-election. We're alongside the broken promises of job creation at both the federal and corporate level, worsening economic conditions, and the ideological
Would
belief
you make a
that the
Death Stranding main channel video?
Death Stranding? I don't know, man. I beat the first game, but barely. I've tried replaying it recently. I just can't do it. It's so boring.
working class is the only thing standing in the way of shareholder profits, has resulted in a labor market that has completely sold off the bottom rung of the career ladder, where unlike America's post-war economic expansion, where hard work and dedication truly did provide a stable career filled with upward mobility, only 15% of current vacancies are now filled with internal candidates, a 75% decrease over the last 50 years.
What are we watching? How you basically, as Gen Z, you cannot get a job.
With companies now relying more on outside hiring, often favoring those who already have years of work experience. With Scott Detman, CEO of Avincia, a US-based career platform for new graduates, stating, employers are unhappy with the level of talent they're getting in the entry-level space. So instead of trying to take corrective action, they've increased experience requirements. In the last 5 years, we've seen a 20% increase in the number of skills required on job listings. Where a study by Generation, a nonprofit network focused on economic mobility, found that of the 1,300 employers surveyed across 8 countries, including the US and UK, 94% required applicants for entry-level tech jobs to already have experience in a related field. More broadly,
Yeah, that's why I remember this. So this is why a lot of people that work on Twitter, for example, a lot of streamers or YouTubers, they end up getting a contact at Twitter to help get them unbanned. Usually what happens is you lose that contact because most people that work at those big tech companies like Twitter, they just use it to get their foot in the door somewhere else.
Back Sweden?
Am I going back to Sweden? No, I'm going to Australia. Me fucking lord, huh?
Overdraft just to say I hate you so much. Enjoy the £7 fat ass.
Thank you, Jamie, for the 10. Thank you, Askabo, for the $27. Do it, Jiggle. It Jiggle.
out of 3.8 million jobs on LinkedIn, roughly 38.4% of entry-level positions required 3 to 5 years of experience, forcing young workers to be completely dependent on internships as a prerequisite for employment. With companies such as ServiceNow reporting a 50% increase in internship applications this year, while Citadel saw applications rise by 65%, ultimately accepting just 300 of the 69,000
less than 1% of people actually got the job, bruh.
Applications it received. And as competition for these positions has intensified, employers have taken advantage of the discounted labor, fueling a further rise in unpaid internships. Where according to the National Association of Colleges and Employers, 47% of internships in 2022 were unpaid, creating a new form of economic stratification, as paid interns averaged 1.4 job offers post-graduation, while unpaid interns averaged less than 1, effectively proving that even if you go to college, land an internship, and graduate, your chances of securing a job are severely limited if the internship was unpaid, because in the recruiter's eyes, an unpaid internship offers no more credible work experience.
Cutting straight to McDonald's footage is crazy.
Than a basic service level job.
Why does this just remind me of like a TikTok of like when people talk about their life stories and then just B-roll of like making a burger?
Where this increasingly competitive and misaligned.
I mean, it shows how fucked our society is, right? That I can literally sit here with like, you know, never went to uni, got no uni degree or anything. And then I'm sat here being like, you know, YouTuber, streamer, as opposed to people that like spend years grafting to get the degrees that they need and they can't even get a guaranteed job.
The job market isn't just affecting Gen Z in the United States.
Nothing matters,
Unfortunately, it's a part of a much broader global trend. In Canada, their youth is facing the most challenging employment landscape in over 2 decades, with unemployment among Gen Z reaching 12.2%, more than twice the rate of the prime working age population.
Go into debt for uni, still can't get employed. Yeah, isn't uni debt like 20K or something as well? It's ridiculous. I remember like my sister went to uni and the debt was just actually insane.
In China, youth unemployment stands at 15.8%, prompting many Gen Z to adopt the label rat people, a satirical response to the overwhelming pressure of competing in a system where meaningful career opportunities are rapidly disappearing.
Musical hacker, you did a slop video on here, just wanted to drop an update. Today I went to court and took an oath to be a woman to sort out some paperwork. Also I'm now unironically doing a law degree. Skylar White to Saulette Goodwoman.
That's crazy. Okay, if anyone knows who that is, that was the person who said they were, like, they leaked some music or something.
Dying Like the Beast comes out. Are you thinking to stream it when it releases?
I do want to stream it. The Dying Light update, 100%. I want to stream that. Thank you, America #1 for the 10. Thank you, Play Deltarune for 10.
But why are all Aussies either super deadpan and snide? The second coming of Steve Irwin, also angry like their son have just gotten eaten by a dropped bear kangaroo dingo mix.
I mean, because they're all British, aren't they? They were like all the criminals that got sent from the UK.
Animation? Also.
Play Deltarune. I will. I've got the stream thumbnail. I mean, look, you want to see the stream thumbnail we got for it? Because we're going to do the good route and then we're going to do the bad route. Hang on a sec. Let me pull this up. Jarvis, pull this up. This is the thumbnail we've got for Deltarune at the minute. I think it's chapter 2. There we go. Very nice. It's crazy that it's 2 megabytes as well, like, because you can only have 2 megabyte thumbnails.
Nearly 3/4 of all hiring managers continue to consider Gen Z to be the most difficult generation in the workforce. Employers are making a calculated bet that AI will evolve fast enough to replace the need for entry-level talent, where unlike previous generations, who were hired based on work ethic, with the expectation that job-specific skills would be taught on the job.
I love AI. Honestly, if you're rich and already successful, AI is the best thing in the world. If not, unlucky.
Today's employers are severely
like literally just admitting it's going to remove like ground floor people. That's great.
reducing their already limited training
Like, what are you going to do if you have like a whole generation of people that cannot get a job?
programs. With a 2021 report from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which includes over 100 countries focused on improving public policy, uncovered that most nations spend an average of 0.62% of their GDP on active labor market programs, like job training, employment incentives, and public hiring initiatives. The United States spends less than 0.1%, the same as Chile, where as a result, despite estimates that 50% of entry-level jobs could be eliminated within the next 1 to 5 years, the broader rise of automation and artificial intelligence is projected to displace another 45.3 million workers by 2030. And while many in Silicon Valley compare the greatest technological advancement in human history to the disruption of the car or calculator, the reality is that the speed at which this is happening is not only eliminating entire categories of work that once served as stepping stones for career advancement, but the complete lack of preparation
is coming at the man in the box on the left of the screen.
Your mom.
Cost of an entire generation.
I know that makes me a woman. Your dad.
All for the optimistic assumption that it will eventually lead to a better world. And while older members of Gen Z...
Yeah, this is the cope, right? It's like, oh, everything's going to get better with AI, guys. And it's like, no, like you're going to fuck over so many people in the process.
May still have time to self-educate in hopes of combating the uncertainties of just the next couple of years.
That's another good thing as well that he just pointed out. Like, I feel like now we're going to get more stupid. Because there's just not like an incentive to learn anything now. Because everything can just be shown to you in a Google search or in a result. There's no need to learn anything because you can just search it all up. It's all readily available. So there's no point actually keeping it in your brain.
My job of being your #1 goon.
You would like to see AI replace your job as being #1 gooner. Thank you, lickety shit, for the prime.
The youngest
AI helps no one but big companies. Yeah, exactly. That's all it does. Literally all it does. It just makes rich people even more richer by being able to cut out the bottom line so they can basically just, yeah, save paying people. You know, you don't have to give AI a wage. You don't have to give AI redundancy.
13, meaning their education and skill development will be shaped entirely by decisions made today. Or this is what the Secretary of Education had to say about artificial intelligence in school.
Humanity peaked in 2015. Now it's downfall.
I heard, I think it was a letter or a report that I
Take me back when, like, Vine was the worst thing in the world.
heard this morning. I wish I could remember the source, but that there is a school system that's going to start making sure that first graders or even pre-Ks have A1 teaching, every year starting, that far down in the grades. And that's just that's a wonderful thing.
And when considering the United States' track record of creating better jobs for
Workers earning less than $17 an hour. Bruh, look at Texas. Arizona. It's not too bad. Yeah, California's wait, Alaska's actually pretty good. What?
for future generations, combined with the complete lack of any favorable political
Yeah, Mississippi got cucked a little bit, I think.
or corporate direction over the last few decades.
Do you see H3 talking shit on Insta about your slop? Yeah, I literally just went over it like 20 minutes ago.
Unfortunately hard to imagine that we won't face years of severe unemployment in the job market before potentially realizing any meaningful benefits from AI. Or during the unprecedented outsourcing of manufacturing jobs that dominated the 1980s, 90s, and early 2000s, Americans were told that factory jobs were beneath them, that they deserved better, higher quality careers. Yet during Reagan's 2 terms, despite creating 16.1 million jobs, only 28% were considered high-level occupations. The remaining 12.5 million were concentrated in low-wage service work. During Clinton's presidency, even with 22 million jobs created,
It's the guy from Black Ops!
between 40 to 45% were low-skill, low-wage service roles, with most of the so-called high-wage opportunities not coming from a healthy labor market, but from speculative hype during the dot-com bubble. And after the Great Recession, mid-wage occupations accounted for 60% of the jobs lost, but just 27% of those regained. Meanwhile, low-wage jobs, which made up only 21% of losses, accounted for 58% of new jobs created, pushing those without a college degree, or those unable to secure a job post-graduation, into low-skill, low-wage, dead-end roles. Proving that Gen Z is not only having to compete over increasingly worse jobs, but the belief that better jobs are just around the corner is an overly optimistic fantasy. And even for those able to bypass the rings of Dante's Inferno just to get hired, wages are simply not maintaining the rising cost of living, where since 1970, the US dollar has lost roughly 85% of its value, with
That is awful. That's like when we left Europe. Our pound became so bad it was the same as the dollar.
25% of that erosion occurring just in the past decade. And despite nominal wage increases, productivity has increased 80% between 1979 and 2024, while wages have only grown by 29.4%, equating to an annual inflation-adjusted increase of just 0.2%, or according to a recent report from Newsweek, Gen Z carries the highest average personal debt.
Bruh, you guys aren't even alive yet. You guys are like teenagers in your 20s. You're in your 20s, dude. You got that much debt? I laugh. Nearly 100k debt. Bruh, you didn't even start. That's awful. That's awful. It's like in Dark Souls when you die and you go to pick up your souls, but then you die again, you lose it all.
At $94,000.
But instead it just takes souls away from you.
$101, far above millennials at $59,181, and Gen X at $53,200.
What's the youngest Gen Z now? The youngest Gen Z is going to be like 20, right? What's the youngest Gen Z? The oldest Gen Z is 28. Because I'm 28. What's the youngest Gen Z? 19? 18? Let's look up the youngest Gen Z. Youngest Gen Z age... 13? Is the gap that big? 1997 to 2012. Okay, this is really old. Because I was born in 97 and I'm 28. Oh, it is 13. Oh, that's a huge gap. Oh, never mind.
55.
Oh, so we can still make fun of Gen Alpha. Thank God. Okay.
Or compared to just a decade ago.
I'm not millennial. I'm not millennial. Bruh, I've been over this. Don't call me millennial. Do not do that. We're not having this argument. Millennial age bracket. Let's have a look, guys. 1981 to 1996. I was born in 97. I'm not a fucking millennial. I escaped it by like the skin on my teeth.
Gen Z is paying 31% more for housing, 46% more for health insurance, over
I'm like you. I'm like you. I'm in touch. I'm hip and cool, okay? I'm not a millennial.
twice as much for car insurance, and is projected to spend roughly $145,000 in rent just by the time they turn 30, compared to $126,000 for millennials at the same age. And if current trends persist, after tax, after healthcare income for the average family is projected.
Hello, fellow Gen. Okay, ban Bingus for saying hello, fellow Gen Z in quotation marks and then Pyro. Ban that guy.
Decline.
He's got like the shaved cat as his profile picture. I just want him gone.
And by 37% by 2030, with rising healthcare costs accounting for most of the loss. And while society is so unbelievably divided to the point that we fail to acknowledge we're all underpaid, when accounting for the fact that minimum wage was intended to provide.
I make minimum wage, but then I have to give a sub to Pokimane. Oh, the choices.
Living wage. Today, roughly 44% of full-time US workers.
This dude watched Harry Potter in theater. Okay, what did you watch growing up then in the cinema? What? Okay, nice Rent, by the way. Like a 10-year spanning film franchise, and that's meant to be an own. Bro doesn't even know about like Potter Puppet Pals. What did you watch in the cinemas growing up? Go on. Yeah, fucking Endgame. That's what I thought. Shut up.
Are not achieving that, effectively resulting.
Bro, you were like just old enough to watch Endgame.
In half the American workforce, making less than the minimum wage would be if it had remained tied to worker productivity. I watched every single.
Bro probably having nostalgia over his favorite childhood film, Free Guy. When did that come out? It came out in 2021. Yeah, he's having nostalgia over this film, by the way. It's, oh, no, you had to be there. Like, when I was a kid, oh, my God.
News clip about the job market that recent graduates are facing and how AI is going to replace entry-level jobs. I also watched the ones that were promoted in Canada. I also am subscribed to about 15 to 20, maybe 22.
Is Pyro sundowning? What does that mean? Sundowning, also known as sundown syndrome, is a state of increased confusion, agitation, and restlessness that some individuals with dementia, particularly those with Alzheimer's disease, experience. In the late, ban that guy. Benny speaks. I want him banned and killed. I'm not sundowning, dude. Like, I'm allowed to get angry. I'm still coherent.
Different media outlets, and I read every single news article that they had on that. What I increasingly got the sense of was maybe 25%, 20% was discussing the severe implications of 50% of entry-level jobs being just gone between 1 to 5 years. And then it was filled with, but on the bright side, well, there'll be new jobs created by AI.
There are no jobs. Great news, guys. So there's no jobs left. But the Rizzler just went on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
I think the unfortunate reality in something.
Thank you, Viva, for the 12.
Like that is that, yeah, that's true. Probably in 100 years, if we make it.
I know the Dying Light update came out, little bro. I know you've been spamming it.
That far, 150 years, 200 years, things probably will be quite prosperous if we can make the right decisions to get there. But it will be at the cost of tens of thousands of millions of people's lives.
Unironically, what jobs can AI actually make? Genuinely. I'm sure, like, I don't even mean that as, like, a snide. Like, I'm sure they can. I'm sure AI can make jobs, but what jobs can it actually make? Programming? Surgery? Prompt writer, LMAO. AI repair mechanic. Making prompts for 8 hours for $5. No, guys, you're explaining, like, taking jobs away, like replacing jobs, you idiots. Like, how is it going to give someone a job? What jobs could AI create? What could it create? Okay, AI is giving the answer, by the way, a bit biased. several areas, including AI development, data research, robotics, and ethical oversight of AI. Okay, so ethical oversight is like, that is the equivalent of you being sat in the hotel cook chair while your wife is being plowed. Like it stole your job, and now you need to watch over it to make sure it does a good job. That's crazy.
And we failed to address that. People are hurting right now, and we're about to just completely shake it all up. And I don't even fully believe that AI will disrupt as much as they're saying, as quickly as they're saying. But I'm also not going to disregard the fact that technology is increasing.
Ethan Klein hates you now. I think he always did.
Increasing at a speed that
Mr.
we
Beast's
cannot
thumbnail think could easily be used to drive more traffic to artists, i.e. they sign up with certain attributes about their art, style, price, etc., and you, the consumer, lists which attributes you want to then pair with an artist or several.
You work for Mr. Beast. It's over.
Comprehend. Does anybody know what happened between 1710 and 1725?
You got a hyperfixation on Dying Light? Yeah, me too. Like, I can't play it this stream, but I will at some point.
Absolutely not, but I can guarantee you it wasn't as much of the...
Dude, like, if you think, like, commentary slop that I'm doing right now is bad, can you imagine that there will actually be a surge of people that are just, like, AI, but convincing? Remember that diamond block I talked about? How that channel was AI? Hang on, let's, Oh, look at this. I didn't even know it was AI. I was like guessing, but it's 100% AI. But it's crazy, like...
My friend threw me into this prison, you see, and said, it's impossible to escape from here. First of all, there was only...
Like, this is just all AI. All of it.
Would you want to transform Minecraft from this to this? First, you need to install this mod.
The worst thing is, it's really convincing. It does mess up sometimes. But there were a couple instances where I was like, yeah, okay, this is... You're kind of dumb for not realizing. No, I thought it was AI, but I didn't want to, like... You know, you can't just throw an accusation like that out there without actual proof, because it genuinely could just be someone with the worst TikTok accent imaginable that just sounds like a robot. Because you meet some people and they just actually sound like a robot.
What is the largest build ever made in Minecraft history? I'm not talking about big cat. Did you know you can play Minecraft inside Minecraft? What you're seeing right now is a computer with a screen.
Unbelievable.
The P. Diddy trial. Yeah, I saw... We could just watch Charlie's video on it, honestly.
Noobs.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to watch Charlie's video on it, because I give up. He got like 1 million views in an hour. It's over. But let me go over this first.
The changes that we've experienced between 2010 and 2025. One of the things that kind of just sent me over the edge was in one of the news, one of the videos that I watched, was a lady that was saying how college graduates or just Gen Z can overcompensate the increasingly difficult job market. And she said,
I remember a video a few months ago exposing a video essay channel that was fully AI from the scripting and editing. What channel was that?
That you prioritize human networking, which I absolutely agree on. And I have said that in many times in my videos. I personally will never do another online job application. And for transparency, I've actually never gotten a job through an online job application platform. It's only been through human connection. And so that's why I promote that. I've also found a lot of recent success in things through this.
Could you imagine though, like using those application sites? You don't even get the job and they just steal all your data.
Panel, being able to speak with people about jobs and things of that nature, as well as doing men's groups and other things of that nature. But what she said...
Even if the worst case scenario happens and every job gets replaced by AI, no one will have money and companies can't profit. So they're effectively shooting themselves in the foot. This system can't last long. That's actually a really good point. I didn't think about it like that. That's a really good point.
Well, she said, you need to do things that AI can't do. So start writing letters to those
reacting to Charlie reacting to the Diddy trial is truly peak slop generation. Thank you for feeding us well, princess.
Could you imagine, like, you know how Dolan just makes slop videos that are a minute long? Could you imagine if I just fully give up and instead of making my own slop, I just watch Charlie's and react to it? That's it. I just give up making slop entirely.
Did the interview that helped you during the interview process. So if you got interviewed, you're going to write them a thank you letter for the opportunity for that. The reality is that if you did 300, 400, 500 job applications and you've had 5 interviews and none of them resulted in a hire, that you had to go through all of the insanity that I just mentioned.
Have I told you guys about me applying for my one and only job? Because I've never had a job, right? As you can tell, I've never had a job. Like a real job. I just did YouTube. Have I told this story before? It's really embarrassing. So, when I was at college, I applied to be a barista, right? Like working in a coffee shop. And they interviewed me. And I got dressed up in a nice little suit, had my little tie, like I was going to a funeral. And I walked into this building, and there were these 2 women that sat me down. And they were like, "Hi, how are you? I'm good." You know, this is before YouTube and stuff, right? We didn't know that YouTube was going to pay well. So I had to get a job on the side. So I did not wear a bow tie. So she goes in, she asks me, what do you want this job? And I just said, I just started lying. And I was like, I love coffee. You know, I love, just completely English creative writing, just lying out my ass. I love the taste of it. I love the texture. You know, like I feel it gives me like a real good perk, and I want to serve people, and I feel I can make some money on the side, that kind of thing. And I can help people throughout their day. And then she said to me, "Oh, okay. So what's your favorite coffee?" And then I said to her, I like Americano. And she was like, "Okay." Yeah, I said to her, I really like Americano, you know, the amount of milk it has in it. And I didn't realize the mistake I made. I just heard the word Americano and I was like, that sounds like a really cool sounding coffee. I'll just say that. And then they both looked at each other. It was over. It was immediately over. And it got that bad. You know, when they tell you afterwards you didn't get the job? It was even worse than that. They basically just said to me straight up, "Oh yeah, there's no milk in Americano. It's a black coffee." And I just went, "Oh." And that was it. I never got the job. Yeah. It wasn't great. Did you do it in the fake deep voice? Could you imagine, like, that would just actually scare them? "I really like black coffee. Black coffee is really nice." I just go up to the women. "How's it going, everyone? Flashbang here." Just no filter from the YouTube videos at all. Yeah, that was really embarrassing.
This video that you're
That was like the one and only time I actually tried to get a normal job.
I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for this heaping pile of garbage that is...
You could have saved it, that you said you liked it with milk. But that's just a flat white, isn't it? An Americano means black. Why is it called an Americano? Just call it a black coffee. Why do Americans have to insert... Americans actually are like the most diseased country. Like they genuinely have to make everything all about them. It's crazy.
Plaguing.
Why is it called Americano?
Us. I can't stand that. And so...
Just say black coffee.
That's where I feel the need to show I'm not being overly dramatic. I'm just trying to be...
Bro studied coffee for years after this. No, I didn't.
Realistic. I'm trying to...
Thank you, Retro, for the 5. I'm currently going through unemployment as a software engineer. Over 1,000 applications in 6 months and 5 interviews total. Being 30 sucks. Yeah, sorry to hear that, man. 1,000 applications is crazy.
Hey, this is a issue. This is a concern. This isn't just some YouTube video. This is a severe concern.
Why did I think he was going to say a severe and continuous lapse in judgment?
I just want to go back and just show some of the reasons why employers and hiring managers are using ghost jobs. More than 60% of companies who reported posting ghost jobs said they did so to make employees believe their workload would be alleviated by new workers. 62% of respondents said they posted ghost jobs expressly to make their employees feel replaceable. 43% stated...
What the fuck? They're using it just to spook them. That's... What?
...perception that their company was thriving despite uncertain economic conditions. 85% go as far to interview candidates despite not actively hiring for the role. Nearly 70% of them said posting fake job listings boosted revenue. 65% said the job ads had a positive impact on morale. 77% reported an uptick in productivity.
Fake job listings.
Did you see the Monster Hunter Wilds post you got tagged on over at Twitter? I figured you'd like it.
Thank you, Hugh Janus, the 12. The Monster Hunter Wilds post you got tagged in on Twitter? Wait, mods, can someone send me that? Is that the official Monster Hunter account, or is that just a guy with 2 followers?
Among workers.
I want to see if that's real or not.
Because they were scared
Did the actual account tag me or no?
Losing their job. And 70% believe this is morally acceptable to do this. And so...
Right, I made the comment about Americano, and I've had like 5 people DM me to correct me. Okay, so here we go. With Americano, and apparently it's a snide at Americans from Italy. Americans stationed in Italy during World War II thought the local coffee was too strong. So the diluted version of the Italian coffee was dubbed Americano. Oh, so they're calling Americans stupid. Based.
So when knowing that, I just can't stomach the fact of saying, hey, just tighten up your resume. Work on your cover letter. Go hop on LinkedIn and network more on there. Or write a letter to your interviewer. I just feel that we are failing to address the ramifications.
Thank you, Mr.
That we are all
Loses,
about
for the
to
3
experience.
months.
The fact that I post a minimum wage video and all that happens is that there's just arguments about if we should raise it or if we shouldn't, mostly that why we shouldn't, despite the video never actually addressing if we should or if we shouldn't. It was that none of us are getting paid what we are supposed to. If you adjusted...
I mean, you can't even argue about minimum wage if no one can even get a job in the first place.
Minimum wage for productivity, 50% of Americans are making minimum wage. The way that we have just been divided is unbelievably dangerous. And the unfortunate thing is I am young. I am 25.
He's 25? I'm 28. It's so over for me. It's actually so over.
When I started...
I hate when people say their age and they're younger. Like, it's actually over.
Making this video, I truly believe that if I provided facts and I worked really hard on...
The post was about a fat mod for the new monster. What's it called? Is that what it's called? Just every Monster Hunter monster ever. Just a funny little dragon.
Making sure that I provided things in a coherent and structured way that it would help people realize that, oh, we need to come together. And each video, just slightly, I'm starting to believe that that isn't possible. And I won't give up and I won't stop believing that. But God, it's getting very difficult. And on a positive note, I know that I'm kind of contradicting what I just said. It is very...
Okay, yeah, someone linked me it. Found out in Monster Hunter Rise you can hunt a parasitical commission.
Oh, look, it's Pyro. I have more chins than main video uploads. Cynical hilarious. How he got cucked out of a job by a black coffee. I haven't seen anything. This pathetic since my last visit to Birmingham, which looks worse than Asmongold's room.
Cooked out of a black coffee.
Very interesting that I released the ghost job video on March 25th, 2025. I would suggest going and rewatch.
I don't like Monster Hunter. I don't like it. It might be time for a reinstall though. The table... Why is the table rise? Shut up.
...in that video. And then going and looking at the Library of Congress's report on ghost jobs published April 25th, 2025, and seeing maybe some of the similarities there. I just want to say that you can make a difference and that the information, as long as you're having productive conversations, can actually begin to do something. That video got 500,000 views. There was a ton of comments. It was able to push. It was able to do something. So ultimately, what I always end with is, how do we make a change? How do we actually make a change? The way you actually make a change is by having productive conversations, because it will ripple down. It'll
go onto Reddit. Go onto the Reddit Bureau of Investigation. Ask how I can get a job.
make a larger effect. If you have people making
The rich take and take, and we sit back and let them take.
really breaking down complex discussions to where people are engaging, that makes a massive that is able to combat the absolute fake corporate media on all sides. It is an absolute just heaping pile of garbage. But
this 25-year-old knows how to start a conversation the old-fashioned way.
Ultimately, I hope this was able to provide value. Please don't walk away from this feeling down. Try to realize.
Yeah, it's actually mental though, like how there's such a job crisis. Like you just cannot get a job. And then it's like that job listing, it's like AI overseer. Like the job gets stolen from you. Right, shall we watch Critical? This is going to be very meta now. Okay. I guarantee in the first minute, there will be a dildo joke, okay? If there's a dildo joke or a joke with a butthole, I get $1,000, okay? You shake on that? You shake on that? Nice. Okay, let's go.
What an infuriating and sad day. I guess all the baby oil paid off for P. Diddy because he was too slippery for the justice system. I cannot believe it. They have now reached a verdict on all the charges, and he has
Okay, they've reached a verdict. That probably means he's not guilty, right?
been acquitted of the most serious ones.
Yep.
The Lord of Lube wiggles his way out of it somehow, despite overwhelming evidence to support the allegations against P. Diddy about the decades worth of evil.
I mean, even though he's acquitted, his career will be ruined 100%. Like, no one will want to associate with him. This will be like a Kevin Spacey thing.
Criminal activities and actions he has done, terrorizing the music industry and so many individuals. It seems like the dawn of dildos is about to get away with...
Oh! $1,000 in my bank account right now! How do I keep winning?
With a slap on the wrist. And maybe not even that much. He has been found guilty on 2 of the lesser charges, which could carry a maximum of 20 years in prison. But I've completely lost faith in the system here. I have to imagine this is all just now horseradish and barnacles. I think he will probably just...
No, idiots. I don't pay you. You pay me, idiot.
...get away with like 6 months probation or some shit.
5 counts. We have a mixed verdict here. Again, count 1 as it relates to racketeering, not guilty. Count...
I swear this trial was going to go on for years. Thank you, Kanai, for the prime.
2 as it relates to sex trafficking.
Why
not
is there
guilty.
a 3D
Count...
fat blob game in the odds and ends folder on your PC desktop?
Why is there a 3D fat blob game? Someone took a screenshot of my desktop when I was streaming FNAF and they were showing all the games I had installed. I appreciate that, by the way. I appreciate that. You did not have to show everyone. You really did not have to enhance on that.
3 guilty. Count 4 not guilty.
Sex trafficking, not guilty.
Count 5 guilty.
Bruh, he got done for prostitution. That's it?
Those 2 counts he was found guilty on, that was like Weenie Hut Jr. level charges compared to the rest, and it's something that
Project Glut. Shut up.
defense, I imagine,
No, you don't need to see it.
was extremely pleased to have been found guilty on versus the rest. They were so happy, in fact, that reportedly P. Diddy
He's 100% going to do a comeback song, by the way.
even stood up and started clapping. Literally like a Tumblr fanfic. He stood up, started clapping, and then like his friends and family erupted into applause. Now the judge is considering what bail should be, and we move on to the next stage, which will be the sentencing for these 2 charges, which carry a maximum of 10 years each. He's not going to be seeing the maximum. He probably won't even be seeing the minimum. They might just let him walk away with being forced to play League of Legends solo queue for like 2 months or something, and that'll be his punishment. It is such a fucking joke what just happened here. I actually still can't believe it. It is sickening. So I truly wouldn't be surprised if he just fully walks free from this, and I guess we can expect the grand reopening of Puffy Flavor Camp. Everyone out there, sleep in fear. Make sure you're sleeping on your back, because if you sleep on your...
It's so weird, though, how he got acquitted. I mean, it's not related at all, but, like, that CCTV footage in the hotel where he was, like, beating up that woman as well, like, dragging her back. Crazy.
Stomach, P. Diddy might just break into your house in the middle of the night and shove a dildo up your ass. It is...
I honestly think, though, like, in court of public opinion, he is done. He is definitely done, 100%. And that's almost worse than jail. Almost worse than an actual conviction. Because, I mean, he's got enough money to retire. That's great. But it's like he can never be like a public persona again, I think.
Still just so fucking unbelievable to me. I thought this was dead to rights. Not only because of the overwhelming evidence, but also his team wasn't exactly a cohesive unit. Like, not that long
Dildo joke counter 3. Wait, did he make another dildo joke?
ago, one of his big lawyers quit, saying he could no longer, under any circumstances...
He once represented Osama bin Laden.
represent him, serve as a member of his council. And somehow, they were still able to squeak a win out from between P. Diddy's greased butt cheeks here. I don't know, did they promise, like, freak-off invitations to the jury? I have no clue, I don't get it. I really, truly do not understand how this just happened.
It's a mixed verdict, but it is a stunning victory for the defense. The Mann Act, these charges, these were the easiest for prosecutors to prove, the lowest
Pyro
hanging fruit.
Charlie might steal your slop, he might steal your swag, he even might steal your rights to reproduce with another woman, but he'll never steal your height, he'll always be known as Moist Manlet.
Charlie's not a manlet. Also, he is absolutely shredded. I've never seen someone with a better sleeper build in my life. Crazy.
Merely required showing that state lines were crossed for the purpose to engage in prostitution. We saw a lot of evidence on these charges. Did not have that element, Laura, of force, fraud, or coercion.
Charlie's shorter than you. Could you imagine if we met in person and I just end up being the shorter one?
And this carries...
Just carried around in a backpack or something.
The lightest sentence of these charges. It is a maximum of 10 years. And keep in mind, when you're talking about maximums, maximums aren't the rule. They are the exception. They're for the most exceptional and severe cases. So now you're talking about a sentence that's potentially in the lower range with time served because he's been behind bars.
Yeah, again, he's definitely not seeing the maximum penalty for those charges. I would be surprised if he even saw the minimum. My guess would be, and of course I haven't passed the bar, so this is just fucking Neanderthal spitballing. My guess would be they'll weigh the time served behind bars throughout this case as like you've learned your lesson, and wiggle their fingers. Don't
go on, just make another music video. We'll let you off.
Don't do it again, and give him some really light punishment. Very, very light sentencing. And then when he's out on bail or full-blown walks free, I imagine baby oil will go...
Charlie would beat Pyro in a fight? Of course he would. Have you seen his build? Genuinely. The guy works out like every day.
Extinct. And I predict that there will be a freak-off the likes of which the cosmos has never seen. It'll be filled with so much degeneracy that it will give birth to Slanesh in the warp in real life. It's going to be a Warhammer 40k event.
It's not a Breaking Bad reference. I don't get it.
It's just so fucking despicable, man. It really is.
The fact that these sex trafficking charges, specifically with respect to Cassie Ventura...
Yeah, where's the clip of 50 Cent running out in front of the courthouse, just shouting at him, "You know there ain't no seat on that bike, right?"
Means that the jury was convinced by the defense, at least with respect to reasonable doubt, that the commercials...
I guarantee 50 Cent will be renting. Shall we see? There has to be some generational rent here. He would have been activated like a sleeper agent. I'm done. He actually reacted. What did he say? What did he say? Come on. All right, let's have a look. After the verdict was announced, stars who have been connected to Combs over the years spoke out on social media. 50 Cent posted a photo of himself smiling and mocking Combs' good fortune. Where is it? Is that AI? What the hell is that? Is that AI? I can't even tell. Is that a really old picture or is that AI? What did he say? Did he beat the Rico? That boy a bad man. He like the gay... like the gay John Gotti. He was, you know for a fact, he got no notifications on his phone. He just felt it. He felt the verdict. He just woke up like a fucking sleeper agent. Like a gay... It's like, it's so funny, man. Like 50 Cent, I have never seen a bigger hater in my life than 50 Cent on P. Diddy. Like, he is absolutely rent-free. Like, the rent was actually deposited with interest in his fucking head. It's crazy. Is that an AI picture, though? It looks like a smile filter or something. The gay John Gotti. That's so good. That's so good.
Sex, i.e. the freak-offs, were not connected to some of this violence, that there was not that force, fraud, or coercion element. That is, by far, from a penalty perspective, the most serious. It carried a 15-year minimum. So that is a huge distinction.
Really feels like if you've got enough money, somehow a lot of those very serious, very well-documented things just never really seem to stick in court for some reason. It's so weird how that works. It's so odd how we see that happen so many times. I don't know. Something seems a bit fishy there. From everything I've seen from a couple...
Kanye will make a music video with Diddy. I could see that. He just titles it Innocent.
...of lawyers discussing it, the big thing here seems that the RICO charges weren't conveyed well enough for the jury to understand, and that it could have been, like, difficult in the first place as a potential overcharging on P. Diddy. So that was like an...
50 Cent telling Floyd Mayweather to read a Harry Potter book. Did he do that? I wouldn't be surprised.
...uphill battle. Obviously, I don't understand.
Diddy publishes the I Did It book.
And all the nuance to how that shit works in court, like how it all shakes down, the fucking Rube Goldberg machine that is arguing.
The jury are oiled up. Diddy did it.
RICO charges. I'm not Saul Goodman. But outside of that, the lawyers also expressed how stunned they were that he was found not guilty on the sex trafficking by force and coercion. It seems like, at least
if I diddled it,
from the lawyers that I've read and watched from, they were also very surprised that somehow the jury wasn't convinced.
Those fascists cancelled Perfect Dark. Wait, did Perfect Dark get cancelled? Bruh! There was actually, there was the whiff of a game there. The whiff of a game. Microsoft is closing down Xbox Studio initiative with Perfect Dark killed as well. Oh my god. Why? Perfect Dark cancelled? It was going to be sick though. That was going to be like Dishonored a little bit, I guess. Actually, you know what? Looking back on it, maybe it should have been cancelled. That's crazy though. Like, why would you? Oh, we will never have AAA stealth games. We will never have AAA stealth games. We will never have AAA stealth games. DOA, DOA, DOA. We will never have AAA stealth games. It's so stupid, man. Like, anytime there's a good game, like, I swear to God, the last good stealth game ever made was Dishonored 1. That's it. After that, all downhill.
On those. That one really did seem like a pretty big slam dunk in the case. Like, at least most sane human beings would think so, but somehow it didn't stick. Somehow it didn't...
Someone leaked the board on 4chan. That will probably happen in a month, unironically.
Didn't shake out that way. To be found not guilty on those is baffling. Actually baffling. And I went to a live stream where some lawyers were talking, and reading the chat, it will make you lose all possible faith that there's real people online. There are so many people that are elated, celebrating that P. Diddy is free, and saying he should go as far as suing the government.
Bruh. I wouldn't be surprised if there were bots. If there were bots that were paid by a PR department.
For the charges they brought against him. Unironically, I saw someone donate saying, does P. Diddy have a case against the government to sue them for this? Holy shit. What? I don't know how so many people have been poisoned by stupidity. Like an action, there must be some kind of hole in the ozone layer that's letting pure concentrated stupid come through. And it is just destroying neurons at an alarming rate. Such an unfortunate outcome.
I know, when I clue too much online. That's it.
There's a lot of people that are now going to...
Stealth games are super fun. There are some good indie stealth games, but like AAA, nope, it's gone. Name one good stealth game, bro. One good AAA stealth game that came out in the past 10 years. Name one. The Phantom Pain. Prey is not a stealth game. The Phantom Pain you can have. No, you're all saying Phantom Pain because one guy said it. I know what you're doing. Another game. Hitman? I wouldn't say it's... I guess it's a stealth game. MGS5 and Hitman, bro. That's it. Don't say Thief. Everyone knew Thief. Dude, Thief is so bad. Ready or Not is not a stealth game. Dishonored? I said Dishonored. The Last of Us is not a stealth game. It's got stealth segments.
Need to be looking over their shoulder here.
Roblox? Okay, that's enough. Yeah, Gloomwood, actually. Gloomwood's a good one.
With this P. Diddy verdict. One of them being a bodyguard who said if P. Diddy walks, he's going to need to go into hiding. I think that's not an exaggeration. He most likely will, in order to stay alive. This is a dangerous man with an extremely well-recorded history.
I feel that Charlie's going to be topped off by the P. Diddy Mafia. That would be terrible. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. He's a very good, talented YouTuber, but at the same time, it would leave an opening in the market. But I would never want that.
Of horrible shit he has done, who is now getting let off very easily here. Now, if you're a sane, sensible person...
Just goes to show though, man, like, if you got money, that's crazy.
You're probably pretty angered by the outcome, but we don't live in a world where everyone's sane and sensible. There is a not small group of people, the Free Diddy...
Oh yeah, all the magazines he's got and the guns, that's right.
...drones that are very, very pleased. They're very excited that P. Diddy is going to be most likely getting let off super, super easily. They are elated right now, these fucking weirdos. They're acting like they're part of the crew, part of the ship, like they'll get the invite to the next freak-off. And they are so happy. Fucking weirdos out there. It's crazy how anyone can view this as anything other than a disaster. A fucking travesty where the justice system just failed so many people. Yeah, I'll stop ranting and raving about it. That's really about it. See ya.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy that he got convicted on basically the smallest charges, the absolute nothing burger charges. It's almost like, we had to convict you on something, so there you go. You're a bit of a silly chungus. Go on then. Yeah, we'll let you off. Go on then. Go on then, it's fine.
Just imagine, Pyro, if you saved your money and didn't spend it on fat commissions, you could afford to escape the consequences of August 27th, just saying.
August 27th? What happened there? I don't know what happened there. What are you talking about? Right, we got another one here. Online piracy's great comeback. The pause in chat will be celebrating at this one. Celebrating.
We're the golden age of...
The video died. The video died. Thank you, YouTube player. Very helpful. The YouTube player is one of the best players on the entire platform. Can it play? I gotta play like FNAF music to make the video start playing. What is up with this? Alright, I guess we're not watching that one. Lol.
The 2010s were the golden age of piracy. BitTorrent accounted for a third of all internet traffic. LimeWire had more monthly users than Facebook, and the...
Okay, if you know LimeWire, you are actually an old man.
Pirate Bay was the only video store in town...
You get like a Medal of Valor or something.
...where you were sure to find what you were looking for. Hypothetically, of course. The world was slowly switching from physical to digital media, and even people who weren't particularly tech-savvy realized that digital
By the way, Breaking Bad gets removed off Netflix next year. Mark it in your calendars.
goods could be replaced endlessly with practically zero marginal cost. At its peak, 95% of all music downloads were pirated because it had become cheaper and, above all else, an easier way to fill up large digital libraries that were being made possible by cheap digital storage. But then, it just stopped. Since 2012, the internet has gotten faster, storage has gotten cheaper, and people have become more comfortable with computers, which should have just accelerated a growth trend. But it didn't. Since 2015, peer-to-peer file sharing has collapsed in popularity, and you might think you already know why. Streaming services like Spotify and Netflix were just a better, easier, and safer
Not enough cedars, too many leeches. Every time.
way to access content. And now, as these services have become markedly worse and simultaneously more expensive, piracy is making a comeback. It seems pretty simple, right? The only problem is that's not the whole story. Realistically, these companies knew this day would come. It was just really important that they could pretend it wouldn't.
Wait. Is this real?
Pyro, did you see Albino's response to your response on his tweet?
No, I didn't. Wait. Is this... Hang on. Ayla Mao just sent me this. Apparently Neil Druckmann got kicked out of the writer's room. Wait, is this... Is this actually real? Hang on a second. I can't... Is this actually real or not? I can't tell. I feel it could be a really elaborate bit. To our Naughty Dog community, we wanted to let you know that studio head Neil Druckmann delivered the following message to his team moving forward. Wait, is it actually real? Oh my god, it's real. There's no... hang on a second. Yeah, I thought it was bait. Alright, if it's on Discussing Film, it's actually real. Oh my god, dude! Dude, there's... Oh god. Why, man? Alright, to our Naughty Dog community, we wanted to let you know that studio head Neil Druckmann delivered the following message to our team this morning. I've made the difficult decision to step away from the creative involvement in The Last of Us on HBO. With work completed on Season 2 and before any meaningful work starts on Season 3, now is the right time for me to transition my complete focus to Naughty Dog and its future projects, including writing and directing our exciting next game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, along with my responsibilities as studio head and head of creative. They kicked him out, bro. It's over. They actually gave him the boot. Co-creating the show has been a career highlight. It's been an honor to work alongside Craig Mazin to executive produce, direct, and write on the last 2 seasons. I'm deeply thankful for the thoughtful approach and dedication the talented cast and crew took to adapting The Last of Us Part 1 and the continued adaptation of The Last of Us Part 2. That's hilarious. They actually booted him off.
Pyro, I bet this is your favorite song. www.youtube.com/watch?v=tm5jboip Vita.
They actually booted him off. That's crazy. Wait, did you see Albino's response to your tweet? Hang on, let me pull it up. I'm not logged in on my computer. And I got the burner account. There we go. Should just switch to full-time drama farming. It's actually crazy. Like, he usually gets like 60 to 90k views, and then he gets like $250,000 in a day. By the way, keep in mind, when he watched this video, he was just reacting to someone else's video. Imagine doing that. Imagine doing that. Please don't give Dolan Dark another channel to copy from. What did he send? I've been making some certain investments, and I kind of need to. Am I gonna get banned for that? Am I actually gonna get banned for that? Out of everything I've seen, That actually jump scared me so much, I didn't know how to react to it. Right, I'm not playing that.
A lot of people, they've decided it's time to cut back.
But legitimately, it might be time to cancel some subscriptions, and I'm probably going to have to cancel some.
Some of them I'm not using, and it's just wasting money.
There's so many of these, it's hard to keep track.
At that point, that's an adversarial relationship. I don't want to pay people to enter.
I love paying a subscription service to watch one show. One show. I love it.
Relationships.
We aim, as I said, for this business to be a growth business for the company with margins that our shareholders will feel good about.
So what really made piracy go away and what's
average billionaire? Oh, we want to make more money.
Really bringing it back might sound simple, but there's actually a bit more going on. First and foremost, the majority of people actually would like to acquire their media legally as long as it was easy and not ridiculously expensive.
Also true.
Most reasonable people understand that it costs time and money to produce a song, film a movie, or develop a video game. And the people involved in these...
I think most people that pirate, most people, not everyone, but most people, they would actually happily pay for the product. But it's because the product is usually unfinished, garbage, and then it is a ridiculous amount of money. And then also the whole streaming thing of like, you don't actually own it.
These projects do need to be compensated or else they are just not going to make them. Even people who frequent the high seas, so to speak, know this better than anybody else. A survey coming out of Australia.
One thing that's really funny about pirating as well, he might mention this in the video. You know, like if any of you use editing software, you might realize how easy it is to pirate software, right? Pirate software, Lamau. Like Adobe, Vegas, all that kind of stuff. The reason why they make it so easy to pirate is because usually when you pirate something, you're a kid. You learn how to actually use the software then. So then when you get a job, you're more inclined to actually use that software professionally where you pay for it. It's like indirect training. It's like really clever. Thank you, Who Cares, for the 10.
At the peak of Pyro, I started watching you again in January after I broke my leg lol. Wouldn't recommend, still think you're insane anyways, hope you're doing well, less than 3.
Thank you, man, appreciate it. Hope your leg didn't fall off.
Piracy found that people who pirated content were actually more likely to pay for it if it was available. In a finding that really ages the study, online pirates were far more likely to pay for movies and music through iTunes or Quick Fix. This was...
I'm not paying for Adobe if my life relied on it. Yeah, based. I would much rather pay... This sounds stupid, right? I would much rather pay $300 for an editing software and keep it forever, and it keeps getting updated, as opposed to this, like, paying monthly, and as soon as you stop paying, you lose it forever. It's so stupid. Just let me pay a one-time fee and keep it forever, and then give me free updates.
Because people who pirated content were just more likely to consume content over...
They have it as a month payment because they want you to forget about it, so you keep, you know, you might stop editing. And then they just keep leeching money off you. Like, how easy is it to pay for a subscription service, and how difficult is it to, like, cancel one? It's like, you know, like, it's like, do you want to add your card? Oh, your card's already saved. There you go. Yep, you're streaming. We're going to take money off you starting next month. But then it's like, if you want to, wait, you want to cancel? Oh, you'll have to go onto the website and then log into your account and then go to the settings and then go to help and support, and then you gotta cancel subscription, and then we're gonna have a box that appears that says, are you really, really sure? And then we're gonna have a bunch of boxes that list your reasoning, and you have to give a reason, because it makes me so sad.
Overall, and most of them would only make the trip to the...
Actually, so cringe, man.
...bay if they couldn't find what they were looking for more legitimately. So there were two things that...
And then the pay fee for early cancellation? What the fuck are you using? What is that? What? You gotta pay to cancel? Are you paying off like a mortgage for your house? What is that?
Changed after 2013. Sure, there were a few high-profile crackdowns on some of these sites, but even the regulators themselves knew they were just playing a game of whack-a-mole. One of the most downloaded files on the Pirate Bay was the Pirate Bay, a complete copy of the site.
No way Adobe makes you pay more to cancel early, bro. There's no way. You're joking, right? And no, I don't use Adobe. I was doing a bit. I use Vegas. Adobe asks you for money when you cancel? Bruh! What the? That is trash! How is that legal?
With all of the addresses that could be set up by basically anybody with some basic server hardware in the event that the authorities took down the original site. But then came along the streaming sites that, thanks to faster internet speeds, could let users watch content on demand without granting them direct access to digital files which could then be copied and shared.
That's why Vegas is better. Vegas always wins.
Illegally. The big thing was that these options were just so easy compared to piracy, and so cheap compared to buying songs or movies one by one that it just didn't really make sense to bother with anything else. Nowadays, that's clearly changed. There are dozens of streaming services that are each getting more and more expensive every year. The movies and shows that you watch are being split up over different providers.
What shows are there, bro? Stranger Things. No. Witcher fell off. Black Mirror fell off. Squid Game fell off. Narcos ended. The Crown. I'm not a woman. I don't watch that. The Gentleman. It was alright. All Quiet on the Western Front. That was good. I don't know what that is. I watched that. It was alright. That was alright. That sucks. That sucks. Dwayne Johnson. Watched it in cinemas. You do not need a Disney Plus subscription for any of this, bro. Any of this. Disney Plus is like the weirdest subscription you can have because it is just all stuff that you probably should have seen in a cinema. Frozen sucks. I'm not watching Frozen. Oh my god, wait. A Disney princess that wants more in her life? Where have I heard that before? Oh my god. Oh wait, no, you're 10 years old. You didn't watch Aladdin growing up. Or Cinderella. What we got? HBO, Game of Thrones. Shit ending. Last of Us. Okay, fair enough. Worth it. Succession, very good show. Euphoria, very good show. The Sopranos, very good show. Barry, very, very good show. Chernobyl, very good show. Damn, okay, HBO kind of stacked. If only we had HBO in the UK. But we don't. We've got Now TV. We get like the little... We get the crumbs left over. Prime, The Boys fell off. Fallout, it's alright. Reacher, I genuinely... Like, it's just watching a man explaining to everyone he meets how he does not take Trenbolone acetate. Invincible kind of fell off. Jack Ryan, never watched it. The Marvel... what is that? I'm not watching that. Rings of Power. You put that on the list. Are you for real? You didn't even spell it right. Ring of Power. Air? What the fuck is Air? What? What's on Paramount? Yellowstone. I didn't watch it. I've heard good things. Tulsa King. Same. Star Trek. Don't care. NCIS. Don't care. 1883. Haven't heard of it. Top Gun Maverick. Didn't watch it. Halo SpongeBob. What? Halo SpongeBob Sewer Pants. Piants. What?
Services themselves are getting worse by introducing ads and pushing less relevant content.
It's AI. No, surely he misspelled it for a bit.
And on top of all of that, it's just not...
The Halo show was god-awful. Yeah, the Halo show was ass, man. It was so bad.
Not that easy anymore.
It's so bad, it's on Netflix now. Is that not a sign that it was ass?
Even individual TV shows have certain seasons split up over different streaming services, and the first step in sitting down to watch a movie these days is to Google what streaming service has the 1984 release of Gremlins, and if you're unlucky, what streaming service plus what VPN combo will get you the movie you want to watch. If you're already going through all that effort, it gets really tempting to just replace streaming services with your port of choice, because in most cases, it will just be easier. So yeah, streaming services were cheap and easy.
Yeah, I thought it was a sponsored segment as well. My heart was... Whew.
Which killed the need for piracy. But then they slowly became expensive and terrible, which brought it back. Pretty straightforward, right? Wrong. It's easy to write this whole thing off as just dumb companies being needlessly greedy to their own peril. And while that's definitely part of the problem, there is a lot more to it than that. Music streaming by comparison is decent. There are multiple services, but almost all of them have...
Does anyone here actually use YouTube Music? Does anyone actually use YouTube Music? Please, someone in chat. What, like half of you do? Nah, you're just lying for attention. You weren't given... You didn't get any attention as a child. You're lying now. So I give you attention. There's no way no one uses YouTube Music. No, I don't believe you. Thank you, Ninja, for the 29 months. Appreciate that.
Almost all of the music that you would possibly be looking for.
What is YouTube Music? I have no idea. Like, what are you going to play on that? Just like Bladey remixes or something?
As a result, nobody really bothers to pirate songs anymore, which is particularly impressive when you remember that just 15 years ago, 95% of music was...
To be fair, no one pirates songs because we just got more lazy, because it's like you've got to hook it up to a computer, convert it, download it into your phone and save it. Like, it is actually just so cumbersome. And because we're all so lazy and we just want instant dopamine, then it's like, I can't be arsed. No, I just do Spotify. I mean, Spotify now has offline listening. If you like songs, you can save them. So that's just like, it's over. Like, they won.
Being downloaded illegally. Artists have not been thrilled about the lower revenue they have got from streaming versus physical album sales, but most of them still go along with it because even a small share of something is better than most of their music being accessed for free. This raises a potentially unpopular idea, that it might not be streaming that's broken.
That was a really good show. Are you telling me my fucking son killed someone? My fucking son killed someone. Wait, I got this one song on my phone. I don't know if I can find it. Listen to this. It's a remix of like Aphex Twin and Echo 2K. How is it Buns? How is it Buns? How is it Buns? That's the only song I have saved on my phone that isn't on Spotify.
It might be the movie industry that's broken. The golden age of streaming was never going to last because it was never meant to last. So it's time to learn how money works to find out why piracy is really making a comeback.
Radiohead better, and there we have it. Yikes. Absolute yikes. Next, the Weezer shills will be activated.
This video was made possible by iScanner. I was sorting through some old receipts for tax season, trying to remember which ones I still needed to file. And of course...
Get better music taste, unironically. Okay, what do you listen to? Mumford & Sons? What do you... No. What do you listen to? Oh my god, I got the FNAF soundtrack on repeat, guys. I'm so different. Go on. Yeah, there's an ad. I know, there's an ad. There's an ad. We will skip the ad. I don't care. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Deltarune OST. It's over. Aphex Twin. Metro's Boomin'. Travis Scott. So many of you are saying Deltarune. That is very concerning. You might need psychiatric evaluation. Good Kid. Okay, ban the guy saying Good Kid Mad City. Like, he actually spelt it wrong as well on purpose.
It has over 300 million paying subscribers, and unlike a lot of its competitors, it's actually profitable. But from its very first days of online streaming, they knew they would eventually lose people back to piracy. They just really didn't care.
Cyberpunk OST. To be fair, some of the music in that is actually banging, so I respect that.
And to see why, I'm sorry, but you are going to...
Fingers in his ass. Fingers in his ass. Kanye West has fingers in his ass.
Have to look at some financials. Last year, it made $8.7 billion in net income.
I got that in my recommended for some reason. It was like some really old Undertale, like Sans song remixed with Kanye West.
For taxes, which is extremely impressive. But it still makes it hard to justify the valuation of more than $500 billion. At that rate, shareholders would need 57 years for their investment to pay off, which is not a reasonable bet for a company in an industry that has only been dominant for a decade. 57 years ago, watching a movie looked like this.
That's Asgore, you new gen. Okay, so now I'm new gen. Good.
And in another 57 years from now, it's highly unlikely that we will still be watching movies through the current selection of streaming services. Now, most investors in this company aren't dumb. They know that Netflix can't make their money back with its current structure. What they are banking...
I reckon Amazon is we're gonna reach a point where it's like 3 big companies own everything. The big 3. Amazon is 100% gonna slurp up Amazon within the next half century. Definitely. Probably within the next decade.
on is being able to offer a cheaper service that they can charge more for in order to fatten up those margins.
Let's not talk about my margins, by the way. Being nice and fat. That's a nice shirt. Do they make it from End?
Anyway.
The Big Short is such a good film.
Cutting content, raising prices, and pushing strange features like mobile games within the app are not some surprise new rollout. They are part of a development plan that the company knew it would have to implement since it started offering online streaming. It would just be a lot better if they could do it without competition. Now, on the expenses side, there is some good news. As technology improves, network infrastructure has become cheaper for the same capacity, which means—
Thank you, Sandwich the 5. Funny part about this is that it's made out of spite due to a mashup getting claimed. Oh, that song.
The actual cost to stream videos to users is getting better every year. Netflix's cost of revenue adjusted for inflation has actually been stable since 2022, despite adding almost 100 million new users in that time. Included in those costs are the aforementioned servers and network infrastructure.
Guys, remember when they cracked down on the password sharing? Remember that? That was hilarious. That was my favorite Netflix character arc.
Sure. But it also includes the cost to license—
Love that one.
—and produce their own movies, TV shows, and games. Another big reason their costs have been improving is because they just aren't licensing as much content as they used to, and that's for two reasons. The first was a business decision to cut down on a cost, especially for content that wasn't drawing in new users. The second reason is simply because they can't get their hands on as many titles anymore, because independent studios have made their own streaming services and want to keep their biggest IPs exclusive.
The menu was really good. The ending was dog shit, though. Once the reveal was there, it fell off.
So they can force users to either switch to their platform or shell out for $2.
Thank you, Scout Trooper, for the $20. Appreciate that. If you want to react to another video, I recommend watching The Deepest Games Are Dumb by the Electric Underground. The Deepest Games Are Dumb. Oh! Nike, Jakey's live. What you doing? Why are you playing CS, bro? Come on. The video came out 2 weeks ago. Come on.
What would you recommend for practice personally? Anything like Refrag that's free? Yeah, we're gonna do
I love whenever Nike streams, it always sounds like he's whispering, like he doesn't want to wake people up.
Google, and there's this picture of this kid with face paint that looked hard.
I can't tell if he actually doesn't want to wake someone up or if he's like, this is like his just normal voice. Because everyone has like YouTube voice, YouTube video voice, and then just normal video voice.
It's free. We were just talking about it. I'm gonna do it after this. There's a workshop map called Aim Rush that I think is really, really helpful as far as free workshop shit goes. That you're—
Yeah, I like Nike. He did a really good job with that CS video.
Or more streaming services.
Why'd you wear a headset? Your mum. Thank you, Retro, for the 5. What do I have to pay to get you to watch a video I uploaded about how terrible the job market is? $1,000. $1,000. Very fair offer.
Netflix is slowly producing its own titles, but that hasn't caught up to the—
I've had to raise the amount of money to watch someone else's video. Because we've had in the past people want me to watch their videos on stream. And it was one of the experiences of all time. So I've had to raise the bar a little bit.
Content they are losing from licensing. So then why does this mean that Netflix doesn't care about piracy? Well, publicly they say they do, of course. But piracy is going to hurt their competition a lot more than it's going to hurt them. If people can't find a movie or show on Netflix and then give up and pirate it, that didn't really cost Netflix any money, because the vast majority of content out there wasn't theirs to lose, and they most likely didn't spend the money producing it. A 2023 paper in the Journal of Economic Behavior and Organization titled Pirate and Chill found that when movies moved off Netflix to another platform, piracy of that content increased by more than 20%. Now, first and foremost, that's an amazing name for a professional journal article. But apart from that, it showed why Netflix hasn't been too concerned with online piracy. In a now infamous quote from the company's chief content officer—
because there's nothing worth pirating on Netflix.
They said that in order for Netflix to be successful, we need to become movie studios faster than movie studios can become us. Piracy that disproportionately hurt legacy movie studios and their libraries of content was not something that Netflix would encourage. But behind closed doors, they certainly weren't too sad it was happening. Another way to think about this is that obviously Amazon isn't encouraging shoplifting, but it's a problem that hurts their competition far more than it hurts them. Piracy has also been a handy little tool throughout the company's history. Back in 2013, it admitted to using data from online piracy sites to find out what was popular and therefore what was worth licensing. Okay, so Netflix—
Bruh, they're lurking their own piracy sites.
Netflix doesn't care about the rise of piracy. But what about the actual Hollywood studio?
Doesn't that show how evil these companies are? They don't care as long as it hurts the competition and doesn't hurt them. It's like that whole Midjourney AI lawsuit. It's like as soon as it was hurting like Universal, it's like, wait. We need to step in now. Shut it down.
Well, they obviously do. And they crack down on IP theft with furious anger. But they are in a difficult situation. They could send piracy back to the dark ages by reconcentrating their content onto a single easy platform. But at the moment, that would probably be Netflix, which a company like Disney would obviously not be willing to go along with after investing so much in their own service. If they keep competing though, they are just going to make the experience worse for everybody and probably lose more ground to the high seas. Now, for these companies, this whole fight could not be happening at a worse time. There is a reason why music studios were able to play nice and make their content available just about anywhere while movie studios were fighting to the death. Music is simply much cheaper to produce, and there are far more sources of alternative revenue beyond just directly selling a song or an album. Artists don't make as much from streaming as they would from a physical album sale, but they can make it up in tours, merchandising, and other licensing deals. On the flip side, movies have largely been getting more expensive to produce, while cinema attendance has never fully recovered from its dip during COVID.
Wow, is it really that bad? Damn. Like, it actually didn't recover. That's crazy. So there were genuinely people, like, after COVID that were like, I don't want to... I mean, to be fair, I'm probably one of those people. I don't think I've been to a cinema in, like... I haven't been to a cinema in my country in, like, 6 years. So I'm probably one of those people.
Ironically, one of the biggest theater releases of the past 5 years was actually for a music studio.
Because they raised the price from 10 euros to like 22. Also that.
With the cinema release of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. In the past, poor box offices wouldn't matter as much, because mid-budget movies could make a lot of...
Why spend money on the mediocre experience when you could just watch it at home later? Yeah, I mean, that's another thing, right? It's like, it used to be... films would come out on streaming like 2 years later, and now it's like 2 months.
Their money back through DVD sales. But obviously, that's not really a thing anymore. So studios have put even more effort into pushing their streaming services to eventually make back the difference.
Was that a show?
So studios have put...
Why is there a show called The RIP, The Rest in Peace?
Even more effort into pushing their streaming services to eventually make back the difference. It's a bold strategy, and there are hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap at stake. So executives really want to pretend that eventually it'll work.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2, your hair will grow back. Trust me.
Why is this on my head? This is hair. My hair's growing back.
Out. But if it doesn't, there are some lessons to be learned from the music industry which didn't beat piracy. It just made it unnecessary. The first is that movies have simply become too expensive for the current market. Studios have recognized that people are only going to the movies for special occasion releases these days because it's expensive, the theater experience isn't that good anymore, and people can just wait a month and watch it for free on one of the streaming services that they were already paying for.
It's also such a gamble whether your experience in a cinema is good or not. Dude, if you go to a cinema like in the middle of a city, if you've got like one group of kids that are like scream, dude, I went to see Terrifier 3. It was like the shittest film. That's right. The last time I went to a cinema was in Sweden. It was like a year ago. And I went to see Terrifier 3. It was the shittest experience I ever had in my life. Because you had all these kids sat in front of me. I was with some people. I was with Seth Everman. And then right in front of us were these kids. There must have been like 12 or something. And it was like, they were literally like Twitch chat. It was like they had to react to anything that happened in the film. It was like the cinema was that dead. They hired these paid actors. You know, like when people die and no one turns up to the funeral, they hire like people to like wail, like professional wailers. It was like that. Like whenever the clown would just appear, the kids would go, oh! And then they kept pulling out their phones to film Snapchats, because, you know, they're 12, they use Snapchat. And then they had the brightness on, and it's like, bro, it's showing on the fucking screen anyway. Why do you need the brightness? It's not going to make the image any better. They just had the flashlight on as well. It was just, oh.
Instead of
the worst experience, man.
Making the whole thing cheap.
Dude, if you have like loud people, or if you have like a crackhead that gets into the cinema, by the way, if you have like someone that like sneaks in and they pay for it and they're high on something, it's over. They just never shut up the entire time.
And putting less of their eggs in a single basket, they have doubled down on producing mega blockbuster.
Why didn't they get kicked out? Because no one's going to be the guy to be like, oh, by the way, these kids are having too much fun. Can you kick them out? You know, it's just one of those where it's like you just sit there and you get more pissed off, but you don't really do anything about it.
Of the 20
well, I'm not that petty to the point where I'm gonna go and like snitch on like a bunch of like 12-year-olds.
most expensive movies ever made, 19 of them came out in the last 10 years after streaming was already.
Some of them just wander into different movie showings. Oh, that's right. Yeah. If it's like a smaller cinema, they don't have security. No, that's right. Most cinemas only have security to get into the concession area, and then it's free reign, so they can just walk between each one. That's right.
Pretty mainstream. These figures also...
Did you like Terrifier 3? Oh, I don't remember. I was too busy just being angry the entire time.
Only count the production budget, not the marketing budget. And on the revenue side, the box office doesn't include the share paid out to movie theaters. With even extremely generous estimates of those arrangements, only about half of these releases made their money back. And some in particular, like the Marvel's Snow White, Dial of Destiny, and the latest Mission Impossible movie, are shaping up to be catastrophic losses.
They did not have to make that Snow White film, by the way. They did not have to make that. Just let Disney know they did not have to make that film.
So far, studios have been able to justify these flagship productions to their investors by talking about their IP value, which can later be extracted by bringing in customers to their streaming platforms. But...
oh yeah, that's Ironheart, right? They kind of stealth dropped that. The only thing from Marvel that I'm actually looking forward to right now is Marvel Zombies. Because apparently it's going to be like the first... it's going to be the first Marvel series that's actually M-rated. It's like, oh, does that mean they swear?
That isn't really...
that could actually be something. It could be a 0, but it could also be something.
Happening. Customers who join because they want to watch a single movie didn't tend to stay subscribed for very long compared to those who enjoy a deeper library of mid-budget movies or TV shows. I don't know about you, but I tend to take my subscription to whatever streaming service is hosting The Office this month. These huge productions also put more strain on the business as these losses have to be made up somewhere, and that is more often than not increased prices, more ads, and worse overall service. Now, I would forgive you for not feeling too sorry for Hollywood studio executives, but they are really in a no-win situation here. The harder they push back against the changing media landscape, the harder they push people towards the high seas. So anyway, now might be a good time to shamelessly plug that these videos are being made available ad-free on Spotify. So if you would prefer to listen in or watch it over there, I have left a link in the description.
I have never seen a YouTuber say they're promoting it on Spotify. That's crazy. But yeah, piracy's good in a video game. In a video game. Only in a video game. What is this one? The worst piece of fiction. How bad can this be if it's the worst piece of fiction?
I thought I was done with this series. I thought as soon as I made my vid on it some time ago, I would be moving forward with my life. Get my degree, start a broken family, you know, move towards a positive direction. Then come to modern day, I've achieved neither of those goals. World War III is about to start, and the worst story I've ever read somehow became even worse. A while back, I made a video on the Rent a Girlfriend manga.
Rent a Girlfriend. They have a manga for everything.
My piece on why I think it's the biggest piece of doodle I've ever had the misfortune
Someone said romance slop.
of witnessing. And if you're blessed enough to not experience this series or watch my video on it, let me give you a quick synopsis. Rent a Girlfriend is about a man named Kazuya who rents a girlfriend, her name is Chizuru, after his ex broke up with him.
That is, I've heard a lot of sad stories about rebounds. That is the saddest rebound yet.
Then he starts going around telling people that it's his real girlfriend. Then shenanigans go down. He also got this other rent-a-girlfriend that's obsessed with him, and they're dating because she's blackmailing him, threatening to expose his fake relationship with Chizuru to all of his friends and family. That's basically the story. He also...
That sounds so boring, dude. Like, who cares? Bruh, that sounds so... what? That's so boring.
in love with Chizuru.
Did you want to see something like that? Just go look at like a Discord chat or something. Like, what?
The entire time.
Yeah, what?
So it's like a journey of a will they, won't they get to...
That sounds so boring. I'm not saying that like every anime has to have like supernatural kaijus and all that kind of stuff, but that is just like, okay, my girlfriend broke up with me. I have a new girlfriend, but she's not my girlfriend. And also I have other girlfriend.
Together at the end.
It's just absolute nonsense. My headset's about to die.
It's a fairly simple story that the author...
Right, great time to pause there. Just a guy slapping his balls with a wire. Great. Ugh.
somehow stretched out into damn 400 chapters.
What? Yeah, what? How is it 400 chapters?
Last time I talked about this manga, I was complaining
There is no way that this isn't a short story, dude. The rent cannot be that high.
on how there
Any slice of life anime is shit. I just don't understand, like...
was no progress in the story and character development was non-existent, especially with the main character. This dude is a certified goof. Imagine a man that Cash App's IG models his paycheck just to get a heart on his DM and left on scene.
Well, no, it wouldn't even be that. It'd be like a thumbs up or something. It'd be just so sad.
He still does it again when the next direct deposit hit. That's the type of lame we're dealing with. I'm not trying to repeat all the same complaints I did on my last video, but since the 200 chapters I read then, the chapters have almost doubled. And the same thing is still going on.
A 2-pack of ass.
Almost nothing
2-pack of ass
happened since then, except the 2 major recent events. Events that the story has been
Is this Attack on Titan? What the fuck?
leading up to since the start.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, what? It's a bit of an animation change there.
Those are the events I wanted to talk about today. So here's the update. On chapter 316, Kazuya officially asked Chizuru out on a real date that he don't gotta rent her for. And she says,
most anime is not worth watching. Oh, definitely true. Like, even if you're like full dedicated weeb, like, yeah, most anime should be avoided. Like, there is no way you can put out that much and the majority isn't slop. There is some bangers out there, like absolute bangers. But yeah, the majority will be slop.
yes, this is some groundbreaking progress. We 300 plus chapters into a row.
I don't watch anime. I want to try and get into it. That's a really dangerous thing to say. I just don't watch anime, though. I was trying to watch Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, but I just couldn't really get into it.
Why did your wife's boyfriend pick this video? Did he want to humiliate you a little extra today or what?
He did. Thank you, Annan, for the 10. Don't watch it. Most is slop. I mean, I've watched Evangelion.
We got our first
Yeah, but I like Ghost in the Shell, though.
date. And for the next 70 plus chapters, it's all about this first date. That's over a
Watch JoJo. Oh, that could be a good shout. I haven't watched JoJo in like 7 years, dude, so I can easily start from the beginning. That's actually a good shout. One of my editors, he's actually got like an autistic hyperfixation with JoJo. It's great.
year in real
If you ever see a JoJo joke in the Fear and Hunger video, he's most likely done it.
time spent on this one event. About a 30 chapter arc of Kazuya planning out and getting him prepared for the date, then another 30 chapters of the date itself. Now, I didn't read all these chapters. My brain can only mentally handle so many lobotomies. I only read the chapters of the actual date, which is 29 chapters.
Look how good that background is as well. Like the art style. And then it's just slop. Actually, is that even real background or is that a scan? That looks a bit like a scan that's been drawn over.
So far of me recording.
I can't even tell.
I read these chapters and was instantly reminded why I hate this trash. Why is Kazuya still dating Ruka? There is no reason for them still being a thing. The only reason why he was forced into the relationship because she was threatening to expose him. But now in the story,
I watched Gumball recently. It is actually really funny. Somehow, as a boomer to me, they still make funny jokes.
Everybody.
How can you watch this garbage? It's so boring. It's so boring.
knows about their rental situation and nobody
It's like watching people file out fucking divorce papers and they turn it into an anime.
really cared. So why is he still
Like every page is its own 30-minute episode.
dealing with this? He don't even like her like that. She just in the way of everything. Anyways, during the chapters of the date, they're exactly how I expected them to look. Kazuya in his inner thoughts, gawking over how good Chizuru looks for multiple pages, him acting mad awkward in conversation. Bro, we're still doing this 380 chapters in. Who is finding this entertaining? Who are the day one fans that are still eating this up? Your brain gotta be fried by now. Cause I felt
They have to be gooning or something at the same time. There's no way. There's no way you're that dedicated.
miserable to come back.
Maybe it's like a jigsaw trap or something. I don't know. Like you have to read all of this really mid manga or I kill your parents.
Same trash that I dropped 3 years ago for the same problems it has to this day. Some things never change, and it's unbelievable that the author has somehow stretched this date into 30 chapters and it's still technically ongoing. How do you do it? This is not even the worst part yet, because I haven't gotten to the main thing that had everyone talking online about it. It's how I even found out this manga is still going.
Did you get your ADHD diagnosis privately? Yeah, it was about £600, I think.
On. In the latest chapter, Chizuru and the goon go have a talk at the end of the bridge. And there she tells him that she might like him too. Bro, this could be an endgame moment for the entire series. Only for her to say, not right now.
But I still can't put it on yet.
Which is other words for no. Bro, I use that excuse all the time. Maybe later. Nigga, that mean never. Bro, this is like if Luffy found the One Piece and the One Piece turned out to be the friends we made
Imagine like, oh my god.
along the way. This bullshit! And I'm not...
This is like the equivalent. Okay, let me think of a Breaking Bad comparison here. This shit is so slow. It's like in season 5 of Breaking Bad, you just found out that Jesse like flunked high school when Walter White was teaching. Like that is how slow the development is. We're going back to like before the show even started. It's like negative progression.
Mad because she said no. That man is a gooner and likes to sit in Adam 22 chairs at the motels.
Not the gooner.
Not like
Not the gooner, please.
Anyone owes anybody a relationship either. Like what Kazuya feels towards Chizuru at this point doesn't even feel like love. It feels like an obsession. Like this dude has...
What was he called again? The gooner who waits or something?
First anime I ever watched was Sergeant Frog, Sergeant Pyro. Early 2000s show where space alien frogs attempt to take over Earth but get adopted into a family. Has isn't moments but very comedy/chill focused. Also boobs and the 3-letter F word sometimes.
That was kind of cool. You guys remember Digimon? Digimon, digital monsters. Yeah, I watched the Digimon film as a kid. That was really cool. We never watched Pokemon in this house.
Pyro, you should check out Domestic Girlfriend. It's one of the most entertaining manga I read for the worst reasons.
Domestic Girlfriend? What is it?
Has been fiending over her
I give the 10.
since
I feel that's a bit sussy.
the start of the story. Willing to do anything for her and to stay by her side.
It's an incest plot. I'm gonna look it up. Domestic Girlfriend. Domestic Girlfriend premise. Love for his teacher. Okay. Okay.
Even when it's at his own detriment and he's
Fucking idiot.
at risk of ruining all the relationships he has around him. And you might be saying, oh, he's just doing this because he's a nice guy, he's a good guy. We all know what he wants. So no, I'm not mad that Chizuru said no. The reason I'm mad is because this whole series is one big waste of time.
If you want a manga that's actually peak, read Vagabond. We suffer because it's on eternal hiatus, but the art is phenomenal.
Vagabond. Oh, that's the meme one. That's the meme one. The meme one that people use on Twitter and Reddit. Okay. Damn, that art's really good though. Dude, I got like 4 Berserk books. I actually need to read them.
400 chapters of being down bad and lollygagging. And then there's gonna be 300 more chapters of
Where does he get this B-roll from? That's like The
chapters of being
Simpsons.
down bad and lollygagging.
That's Robot Chicken.
And then there's gonna
That's Ray William Johnson. Like where is he getting this B-roll from?
be 300 more chapters of the same thing until another confession happens. And maybe they'll get together on that one. Probably not. And you know what's worse? It's been reported that this dude has spent a whopping equivalent of 250,000 US dollars on her. Now, I don't know how true this is, but doing my own research, I'ma start believing shit. And if this is true, bro, end it all. Okay, so
$250,000. I think that guy's depressed. I think that's a cry for help.
dude on Reddit did the math, and Kazuya had only spent a few bands of his own money on her.
It's still 16K, by the way.
but that's still a lot. He could have bought this 2004 Ford Mustang I found on Facebook Marketplace for that amount of money he spent on her, only to get no buns. And those are the chapters, so.
One of my editors actually showed me that he bought himself a car, and it actually cost less than the shoe statue I have in my room. Now that is sad.
Bro.
How could you be that broke to buy such a bad car?
I don't know what it is with this author stretching out this story into infinity. Maybe he loves the characters and stories so much that he doesn't want to let them go. I don't know. He can make other series with other characters he can grow to love. And he's already done this. He made a new series while working.
How much did the shoe cost? I actually don't know. How much did the shoe cost? Wait, I'm going through the Discord DMs. I need to try and find how much it cost. Hang on, if I put like a dollar sign. No. It was $1,647.06. That's how much it cost. I'm looking at it right now. I need mental help, I think. Anyways.
Working on Rent a Girlfriend not too long ago. It's titled The Shinji Family Children. A completely new
No, that was with the shipping. That was with the shipping.
romance
But then we had to pay like 300 quid because it weighed so much.
manga by him. Let me read you a summary of it so you know what it's about. The story follows Arata Shinji, the eldest son of the Shinji family, who lives with his 5
Oh, did you said Shinji? I thought it was Evangelion for a second. I was actually awake.
sisters and a younger brother. Arata has always been tossed around by the whims of his sisters, and yet that does not stop him from viewing them as his precious family members. The hell does that mean? However, everything is changed when their father reveals that the siblings are
The dad looks like Shinji's dad. Is this meant to be Evangelion?
not related by
What?
blood. And Arata now needs to deal with
He actually looks a little bit like him.
this newfound situation. Bro, are you good? You know, when I first started reading this, I was actually a little
Your
bit...
clown shoe costed more than my trip to Japan, holy shit.
Well, your trip to Japan was disgusting hedonism. What I paid for was an investment, okay? Thank you, Kate, for the prime.
When is the Fear and Hunger video coming out? And did you have to change your adult diaper after playing Five Nights at Freddy's last stream?
The Fear and Hunger video is coming out this year. That is all I will say.
hopeful that the confession would mean something. Because at this point, this is just abysmal. There are rumors that are saying it's ended. It has not ended yet. The author has made no announcements of when the series will end. So as far as we know, this could just be the first half. There's also more rumors saying that he's not ending the series because he's in love with Chizuru. And even though I don't really understand the things he
Oh my god, he's like drawing over actual scenes.
says on Twitter, I really hope this Chizuru.
Wait.
Even though I don't
Retweet, thank you for the likes. This child is my girlfriend. And it's called Chizuru Suwon. On holidays, we often have tea and dates together. I'm doing a play, and it's always very beautiful. The banana was half squeezed and eaten by two. Yeah, this child is my girlfriend. Yeah, that's... Anyways.
don't really understand the things he says on Twitter. I really hope this is not the case. Bro has a wife and kids. I'm actually at a loss for words right now. What more can I say on this that hasn't already been said? I'm not gonna lie, this has been a pretty bad
It's just... Okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's a bit of broken English.
week for me. The Pacers lost. It's 1,000,000 degrees outside. My car got towed. And I had to read 30 more chapters of this bullshit just for this video. I wanna die! I'm never reading it again. Not even if
Nice Dead Space 3 clip there.
another confession happens, bro. Just no more. Just no more. I'm never
It was translated badly. How did it fuck up that bad, though? It says, this is my child.
letting
My girlfriend child.
my morbid curiosity take the best of me. Anyways, that's kind of all I wanted to say. And in conclusion, I'd rather be reading One Piece.
No one would be reading One Piece, little bro. One Piece is really good. One Piece, but like, it gets so good after 7 billionth issue, I promise. All right. One Piece is good, by the way. One Piece is good. I don't want to hate on it, but oh my slow. Oh my slow. Bro, you gotta take like a gap year from uni just to catch up on One Piece. All right. What we got? Pixar is in big trouble. When is it not in trouble?
The worst.
Everyone hates Pixar at the minute.
Box office opening ever for a Pixar film.
Elio. Oh, that's right. The film that, like, we knew was going to flop and die, like, immediately anyway.
So naturally, as an artist, I'm very interested.
Could you imagine, though, like, you get hired to work on a film and the execs are like, we know this is going to die. We know we're fucked. So it's like, why even bother trying?
In the animation industry and what's going on here, so I wanted to dive into this a little bit more. Now, one of the consensus here is that it's a marketing related issue, and I would partially agree with this because I personally didn't see one.
I did not see a single ad for this film.
Single ad.
A single ad.
Someone said didn't even know it was out. Where's the marketing? But like I said, I feel like that's only a part of it, and here's where the tea gets a little bit warmer. This movie looks like it was made for Disney Plus, and can Pixar stop using whatever this animation is? Which is of course in reference to the character.
That looks like the exact same as the panda film, whatever it was called. I forget. Where the girl turns into the panda. They got those like kind of the CalArts mouth.
Design and art style used in this movie. Someone said,
okay, there is no way someone in chat just said Grubhub art style. That is actually quite accurate as well. I hate that.
Nemo, WALL-E, Toy Story, and Brave all resonated with all audiences because they were more mature in their storytelling and the design.
Why did you just say 9/11 movie? Like,
not for real, I'm so tired of this bean mouth shit. Tired of bean mouth.
Why don't they talk about 9/11 and turning red? Oh, is the film set in 2001? Is that the joke? Is that why everyone keeps saying 9/11 movie?
Play-Doh, Gumby body animation, regardless of what story is told. What the F happened to Pixar's art style, bro? People are tired of this art style. It's
yeah, you just call it 9/11 movie, like it kind of went over my head.
Lazy, ugly, and devoid of cultural differences between humans. Someone said, I'm so glad this PowerPoint art style will end with this movie. Zero sauce. This was a really funny response to the original.
Yeah, that could literally be a sequel to Turning Red.
Post that just
the exact same art style.
Says Grubhub perks give you deals on the food you love, which is in reference to...
Oh, yeah, they actually... Bruh, it does look the same.
Very ugly.
Thank you, iHas, for joining.
Grubhub.
Thank you, Sparky, for the 9 months. Will you stream Outlast Trials? Maybe. I got to first prestige on it.
Ad, which is titled Delivery Dance, and you can find it on YouTube. Now, funny enough, that aired in 2020, and it just so happens that Pixar started doing this type of...
The Grubhub ad looks worse. I mean, hopefully. That was probably only a couple $100,000 compared to millions.
Style after 2020. Maybe they're copying Grubhub. I don't. Here's a response to that saying, I hate the Steven Universe.
Yeah, it is Steven Universe. That's right, with the funny big mouth
type style. And on the left, you see 3 movies. Elio.
Are they all different films?
Luca and Turning Red. And on it,
they're all different films. Dude, look at that. Are you for real? That's not the same film. That's awful.
Honestly, yeah, they do have a very similar type of art style that I personally do not find appealing either. But on the contrary, I do think it looks pretty good in the 2D animation form. The art style...
I mean, Steven had pretty big eyes as well. They made the eyes smaller, but the mouths are bigger. It just looks... Ugh.
Is buns. Somebody said, don't even think actually advertising this film would have saved it. The kind of deals that make you boogie. And there's a little clip from the Grubhub ad that people are comparing this movie style to. He looks like he'd fit perfectly in a modern Pixar movie, and I don't know if I should be saddened or humored.
Look at the hyper, dude, it's like Sonic EXE, hyper realistic blood eyes. Look at his hyper realistic gum line.
Or both by this fact. Someone said, stop hating on the bean mouth. We love the bean mouth. But you know the problem with that is I think a lot of these
the bean mouth, dude.
Mouth characters really work because they are 2D animations. And you probably see this with live action Disney remakes too, but with 2D animations, you can get away with more fun and quirky and spontaneous feeling.
First Sonic draft movie teeth.
Character designs and story arcs. And that's a big reason why these...
I mean, someone high up on the Disney team was like, we want this style. Because most artists, when they work on a big team, they're not using their own style. They're copying a style that they've been told to copy. So someone high up has basically said, this is a really good style. We need this in the film.
Types of designs really work into
Thank you, Glop, for joining. Thank you, CM, for the 3 months.
the animation.
You should play Kletka. What's that? When did this come out? Oh my god. Le PS1 graphics? Less spooky? Okay. I might be sold. I might be sold.
But of course, at this point, I thought to myself, this is Twitter, and people on Twitter are probably going to just come.
Thank you, Marble, for the 5. Hope your move is smooth, like a new jar of peanut butter.
Complain about it.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Should be.
Anything.
I can't wait to be stuck on a big metal tin for a day.
And everything. So I have ventured to some of the other cesspools of the internet where people like to discuss these topics, and behold, more of the same complaints. Tip for Pixar: stop using the same art style. Their style is just boring now. It worked in the 2010s, but now we have Spider-Verse and Puss in Boots. I don't think Pixar is used to competition. They got too comfortable. I think even with marketing, people just wouldn't care for this movie. So because I'm nosy and I like to go down these rabbit holes and get all up in other people's business, I went and researched the history of all Pixar movies from
Toy Story 1, if you go back to look at it now, it looks really rough, but it does still hold up, like, style-wise.
their very first.
But obviously all the textures are pretty low, like, quality, which makes sense because it came out, like, dude, it came out before I was born. Oh my god.
Film, which is Toy Story, really.
Dude, that's oh my god, I'm old.
Released in 1995.
It looks rough but charming. Yeah.
First of all, that is insane.
The Toy Story 1 dog is Kino. I know, the fucking Nelson dog. Yep. It is actually like if you asked a child to draw what they thought a dog looks like. Look at the difference, by the way, in the second film. Like, that actually just looks like a dog. What the fuck are those eyes? What are those eyes, man? Who on the team gave the dog those eyes? The dog looks pretty normal apart from the eyes. Look at that. You would see that shit as a jump scare in like an analog horror. It's just the Nelson dog. Like, it's the same. How is that picture of that dog real, by the way? Genuinely, how is that real? That is like the most haunted picture I've ever seen of a dog in my life. Why is it taken at like, it's shot like it's an episode of Utopia or Mr. Robot, like using like the third as well. Like every other picture of this dog, he looks completely normal. Every picture, not looking at that one. Every other picture, he looks completely normal. And then that one, there's just something so cursed about that picture. It's like the drywall that's like this kind of sickly green. Crazy.
I can't believe it's been 30 years. What the f? But here's the thing, from that very first release, Pixar has always been a 3D animation studio. And for 22 years...
9929, the YouTuber who is infertile from eating scented candles. He made a 5 grams tower out of TV remotes and a device so Simon Cowell can't brainwash him. He has rated many more candles and the photos are so insane that AI can't mimic him.
Is that schizo guy with the candles? Okay, I might make a note to actually revisit that guy. Not this stream, but when I'm touched down in Australia.
All the way from 1995
I love the candle man.
to 2017. From Toy Story to Coco, I don't think anybody ever complained about Pixar.
Coco was fine.
Being a 3D animation studio and doing 3D animation styles. Now, I'm of the firm belief that the reason we didn't complain about their 3D animation style is because they had genuinely good character designs. Every film was unique. Every character's...
Thank you, Bird, for the 10. Yeah, the eyes were like analog horror, like just spread out.
This design was iconic.
Yeah. These films were absolutely goated. Like Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc. Goated films.
Think Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. Lightning McQueen from Cars.
Cars, I will be honest, I never really cared for Cars. I remember even watching it as a kid and I was like, this is kind of boring.
I mean, picture...
I never really got Cars, I'll be honest.
Picture the characters from Finding Nemo, from The Incredibles, and WALL-E. How could you ever forget about WALL-E?
Yeah, WALL-E is like, it's got to be like top 3 Disney films of all time. That has to be.
WALL-E. These characters were designed...
Incredibles is really good. The second Incredibles, it was okay. They're just kind of very forgettable, honestly. Bug's Life was pretty decent.
So different.
Up, I never liked Up, I'll be honest. I don't know why. It's just like Cars. It was just kind of bedtime.
Differently from each other, and they were so iconic in their appearance. I think people are complaining about the art style, not exactly because it's an art style that they've always used for the last 30 years, but because it's actually genuinely gotten worse. They've lost the sauce. Just look at the movie Coco, for example, which I adore, and it came out in 2017. They were so expressive, so
oh my god, all the L's because I said I don't like Up.
Animated, and their visual
No, it's not a bad film. I just didn't really enjoy it. It's like a 6 out of 10.
Design actually
It's not like a bad film. I didn't like it though.
Directly reflects the culture of the characters. I personally
could sit down and watch Toy Story right now, Toy Story 1. I could not sit down and watch Up.
Thought Coco was a fantastic movie, and then from that point on, from 2020 onwards, no pun intended, Pixar gave us the movie Onward. They gave us Soul. They gave us Turn.
Yeah, no one watched Onward, from what I gather. Soul, I didn't watch that.
Turning Red, Light.
I watched that. I don't remember a single thing about it.
Year Elemental.
Oh, Lightyear. That was... Was Lightyear good? I don't remember it, so probably not. What was the twist again? Like it was his dad or it was him from the future or something like that? It was just so contrived.
Elemental and...
I never watched Elemental.
Inside Out 2.
I watched Inside Out. It's okay.
And now just most recently, we're getting Elio. Now within those movies that
Yeah, imagine if Lightyear was like a mature film. This is what I want, man. Like, I wish Disney could make like an M-rated film on like one of their IPs. Could you imagine? The box office would be horrendous, but we wouldn't care.
I've just listed, I think the new Pixar style
that Up is more than the opening 10 minutes and that the rest of the movie is pretty fuck-ass boring.
So true. So true. Thank you, Red Nova, for the 10. The opening of Up is really good. As soon as... No. Oh, I get it, because you're on about...
Buy yourself 2 sloppy meal deals and something from the reduction aisle.
Thank you, Maxi, for the 10. The thing is, the opening of Up, where he loses his wife, I genuinely cried to that as a kid, right? I was like, okay, like, that really hit me. I'm not saying that's bad. That's good. But he makes a good point. After that, the film does become lol, Le Fat Child and Le Talkie Dog. Like that. That's it for most of it. Le Grumpy Man who will eventually come around. You know, like. But the opening is like peak. Like that has to be like one of the best openings of a Disney film ever.
People are complaining about nowadays began with
Le Fat Child.
Luca in 2021, and they kept it going with Turning Red in 2022, and this specific style is what people are responding really negatively.
How's it El Take El Dono?
Too. And I can't blame people for feeling this way because when I saw the trailers for Luca, for Turning Red, and for Elio, I was just completely not enticed. Someone said,
Le Good Guy was Le Evil. Oh yeah, that was the twist in Up, that's right. His inspiration was actually just a piece of shit.
I know it's a kid's movie, but man, even by those standards, it looks too babyish animation-wise. The animation looks
Watch his Invincible once. Where's the blood?
Appealing and unappealing is
where's Omni-Man
for it because visually there
is
just nothing there for us
where's
to
Omni-Man?
into, especially as adults. And one could argue that this is supposed to be a kid's movie, so why do we care about it? But what I've noticed, especially with animated films, is that a really good classic animation doesn't just entertain kids. It also makes parents want to take their kids so they have an excuse to see that movie. Think, for example, the Spider-Verse movies or even Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is again a fantastic.
That was a really good film. Puss in Boots. The problem is they're using that same animation style for the new Shrek film. Have you seen Donkey in the new Shrek film? He looks fucking awful. The other characters don't look too bad, but Donkey looks terrible. Puss in Boots was really good though. He like good equals furry. Okay, Le Furry film good? No, I didn't say that. I did not say that. Dude, this guy's in it for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes in the whole film. Settle down. Most of it isn't even about him. I just liked it because it's the guy from Civil War. One of the news reporters. And he was in Narcos as well. He was Pablo in Narcos. Really good actor. Oh my god, Rent Free. Like, you're making it out that I'm only saying it's okay because it's a furry film. Okay, yeah, sure.
climactic movie. So you guys can let me know what you think about this too in the comments, but at the end of the day, I think the monumental flop of this new Pixar IP is probably due to a wide variety of reasons, like
I
no
hate to
marketing.
ask this, but I made my first video essay recently and it was on chat. In the video I have a whole section of their video where the guy paid $4,000 for sex and I recorded all of it. I confronted him after. No nudity. Start 116.
Thank you, Leo, for the 10. There's no... You didn't give a link or anything. I'll look up your name afterwards. He paid $4,000 for sex? That's crazy.
Everything now being on Disney Plus, so people have less incentive to actually go see things in theaters, as well as a serious lack.
Donkey reawaken furries. How did any furry... No one has had a furry awakening from Donkey. That's crazy.
Of visual appeal. If you look at something like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, you can clearly...
Donkey looks so bad, though. Hang on. New Donkey Shrek. Yeah, what the fuck is going on with that hair, though? That hair's so bad. Look at that. That hair's so bad. To be fair, the actual main design of him isn't that bad. It's just the hair. The hair just looks like he's actually molding. Look at that. It's like he's got feathers on his head. Dude, Shrek actually looks like an old man now. That's so sad. Oh, they actually made him older on purpose. Oh. We're going to have a scene... I guarantee you, by the way, we're going to have a scene where Shrek dies and the series gets passed on to one of his kids.
You see that the character designs are simple and their silhouettes are very intentional. There's a level of anthropomorphication here that makes these characters really resonate with the viewer. Take something like our...
There's a level of anthropomorphism that makes the film resonate with the viewer. What kind of viewer would that be? Curious how he does not go into detail on that. Very curious.
For example, you're getting a much more realistic style for each character. You're getting something a lot more complex as well, but each character still remains simple and iconic in their own theme. With teal hair and purple shorts, you can immediately recognize Jane.
I remember being told by like an insider that like Riot Games knew that Arcane was going to absolutely flop, but they did it anyway. And they put it on Netflix because they just don't, because they have that much money, they don't care. The entire thing was a loss for them. They just wanted more brand. They wanted to tap into a new audience that did not ever play League of Legends. They wanted to make it a mascot like Mickey Mouse or something.
In their own Miguel with his
I know I say it every stream. I know. I have dementia. Shut up.
Guitar and all the skeleton motifs that you see in that movie. It's iconic. And it's simple. It's straightforward. It knows exactly.
Arcane flopped. It didn't flop, but like there was no way it was going to make its money back selling to Netflix compared to how much it got paid. How much it paid.
Exactly what it wants to be. The same thing could be said.
Thank you, Leo, for the 10. Yeah, I'll check that out in a bit.
For the character designs from WALL-E, from Toy Story, from Finding Nemo. But now, if we just turn our attention back to the films Elio, Turning Red, and Luca, and we completely ignore the stories and just look at the visual appeal of the characters, there is clearly something lacking here. I mean, you can compare these characters to some of the older characters that Pixar used to make, like maybe think about the movie Up, you know, Carl.
I mean, I'll be honest, bro. He just shaped like Minecraft Steve. Like, come on. Like, he is actual Minecraft Steve.
Russell, Charles. You could argue that it's a very similar type of polished...
I mean, back then, every character was like you could get the bad guy from Up, him, and you could literally place him in any other Disney film of that era. Like, you could have put him in, like, Meet the Robinsons or something. You know, like Meet the Robinsons characters. I typed in Mimi. Look at that little kid that just had a steak as his only friend. That's right. Yeah, I remember, oh my god, when this film got famous to all like the TikTok generation, because obviously it came out before they were born, they all saw this character, they're like, it's literally me. That kid is literally me. He's led tired and has led no friends. When did it come out again? 2007. When did Up come out? Oh yeah, only 2 years later. Yeah, so it was just like Meet the Robinsons style.
3D animations.
It's like that original Incredibles style.
But what sets Up apart from these post-2020 Pixar movies is the character designs, right? Carl is so distinct. You can recognize him anywhere. And then
Minecraft.
You have Russell with the funniest proportions, just a cute, cuddly...
He's actually just built like Joe Rogan.
Little dumpling kid.
No, he's built like the Rizzler. That could actually be the Rizzler.
I mean, even Doug, you know, you can tell these characters are designed extremely skillfully in a way that makes them instantly recognizable just by a silhouette. Now let's look at Elio, let's look at Turning Red, let's look at Luca. These characters, if I were to black them out and just hand you all of their silhouette.
Yeah, exactly. Use the TF2 logic, guys. Have the silhouette of the character. If you cannot recognize the character from the silhouette, it's a bad character design.
On a platter, you would not be able to know who's who. And not even just the silhouette. If you look at the features of these characters and take in their design as a whole, there is a clear lack of creativity, especially when you compare it to some of Pixar's older films. I'm not gonna lie, and this might just be my personal opinion, but when I see an image like this of the character Elio, this does not entice me to go see this movie at all. Not a single cell in my body wants to move my ass off this seat and head to the theaters for this. What is that on his head? Why does he have spoons and forks?
What the fuck? What's that game I played as a kid?
Off this seat and head to the theaters for this. What is that?
Dude, I wanted to do a video on Heart of Darkness because PewDiePie played it like 8 years ago. That's the same. Did they yoink that? Oh my fucking god, they yoinked it. Bruh. You yoinked the lightning helmet from Heart of Darkness. How could you do that? That game is goated, by the way. It's a really good game. Actual thieving rat bastards.
That on his head? Why does he have spoons and forks on his shoulder plates? From an artist's perspective, this just feels like a design that didn't know exactly what it wanted to be, so it just became everything. Same thing with May from Turning Red. Now, completely ignoring the story and everything, when I saw the trailer, the most exciting...
The worst thing is about Heart of Darkness, it's a really good game, but it actually is all in Lehead, unironically. Like it was actually the original all in Lehead game.
The thing that I saw was the CN Tower in Toronto. As an Asian person...
I might stream that at some point, actually. You know, PewDiePie did a series playing... He did a series playing... This was like the PewDiePie low period. This is like when he wasn't getting views.
Hey, how's it going, bros? My name's Peter.
1.7. Didn't he drop to under a mil for some of these? Dude, PewDiePie... What the hell? PewDiePie getting 300k? Oh my god, this was a low period for him. Jesus. We actually all fell off at one point. That's crazy. Wow.
Oh, hey, how's it going, bros?
This was 9 years ago. Like, he was actually falling off back then. But then obviously he was getting, he obviously fell back on as well. Yeah, the game's really good though.
Sucks ass.
And he just says it sucks ass, probably because he died. Anyways.
And I find no part of this...
You're not subbed? This is my lurker account, so I don't fuck up my recommended.
Character's design resonating with me whatsoever. It's just generic, for the lack of a better term. I mean, the costume feels generic to me. The proportions feel generic to me. It pains me to say this because I used to always look up...
It is also like, you see this, you see these characters, and you're like, how the fuck does this remind you of 2001 in any way? Like 2010, maybe a Tumblr account, but not 2001.
Feels generic to me. The proportions feel...
What, did after the World Trade Center fell down, did all the colors just disappear from America? Like what?
Generic to me. It pains me to say this because I used to always look up to Pixar for
9/11 prequel.
For inspiration. Pixar was always known to push proportions. You know, they make these iconic characters.
Bruh, subscribe to PewDiePie. We have to beat T-Series. Bruh.
Designs like you see in The Incredibles, right? Just think of the silhouette, right? You know exactly what Edna looks like because she's got such...
Edna wasn't Edna voiced by Brad Bird, who was like the director of the film? Just voiced by a guy? That's kind of genius. Edna mod.
A striking silhouette, and it's something that ties to and matches her personality just perfectly. Now, it is my sincerest hope that Pixar as a studio can bounce back.
I'm an artist myself. I really enjoy and prefer sharper angles and shapes in design. It feels these designs are too obnoxiously round, like they're afraid to have any sharp angles.
from this monumental failure. The people online have spoken, and this is clearly just not
10
something that's
euros.
working.
This guy is mad because Pixar rejected his application and now he's stuck doing YouTube videos. I get that Elio flopped bad, but the way he talks about the other movies is just pure coping.
I think he's been softballing this entire video. I don't think he's been... This guy censored the word ass, by the way. Like, you can tell he's, like, softballing the entire time. I don't think he said anything out of pocket.
For Pixar. Anyways, guys, so I don't know what's happening right now, but Disney, Pixar, they're not doing well. And I hope this is not a signal of the end of days for these animation studios, because Pixar and Disney have given me some of my best childhood memories. You know, these movies meant a lot to me when I was growing up. And I would love nothing more than for kids today to grow up having these amazing pieces of media like we did.
Yep, 2 people spamming the mic bit. I know, they should be killed.
When we grew up. But so far, right now, post 2020, Pixar is not looking too hot, guys, and I hope they can turn this around. Anyways, guys, please let me know in the comments what you guys think, whether you agree or disagree with it.
Not doing that. Very good video, though. Very good video. I like that. I think animation is just falling off. What the fuck is this?
Intermission time.
Not watching that. Absolutely not watching that. Already watched that one. I already watched Piracy. Oh, wait. Someone was asking me to watch this. That's right. This is the SFM horror series, Don't Join Team Red. Someone was saying I should watch this. Because apparently it is up there with... It's up there with Server Blight, apparently. Let me just go piss. Doing your mom. Alright. Turn off that gay shit. That sucks. Alright. Okay. Don't join Team Red. Want to go over this. It could be a Server Blight follow-up. Yo, who said... No, wait. Before I start, who said co-worker music in chat? Who said co-worker music? Okay, if you snitch on him, you all get $100. If you snitch on whoever said that, you all get $100. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. No, you can't all just say me. No. No. You give me the at of the person that said it originally. You give me the at. You can't all just say me. It's actually crazy. It's funny. It's funny. I try and single one of you out, you will just form a defensive barrier. Cancer does that as well when you try to remove it. Right, anyway, be quiet.
This is Redmond Man, your employer.
Wait. Someone tries to save his mercenary friends with a terrible, endless cycle.
This is Redmond Man, your employer, and I've got a job for you. Send my brother to hell.
I'm not an expert on the TF2 lore, surprisingly. I just know it's two brothers that hated each other. They started the Builders League United. Something demolition. Ah, I forget it. Ah. Anyway, it's enough lore.
Yes.
That's like the whole basis of the actual game in the comics. It wasn't Manchester United. Do not sign this contract. His promises are very tempting, but you'll lose everything in return. You don't know me yet. Here's our picture together, all of us. Is that intentional that they don't have any eyes? The spy doesn't have any eyes. The medic doesn't have any, well, pupils. They don't have any pupils.
You should also watch Emesis Blue Pyro.
The scout also doesn't have any pupils. Is that intentional? See yourself in your new shiny gear. Let me move this up here, actually. You'll be stuck with it for eternity. Fighting in an endless war. You should watch Emesis Blue. I haven't heard of that. What is it? Enduring the metal toll of cloning. Was it ever established in the comics why, like, everyone just respawns? Or is that kind of just ignored? You know, like when you die, you come back, or is that not really? Because that could be interesting that there's like a clone theory. That would actually kind of make sense, right? They're revived. Some of us had trouble coping with it. Is he just trying to eat? Oh, wait. We have Le Funny Flash in an analog horror. This is like someone's profile picture. This is like a profile picture you guys would have in chat. Doc Ludwig tried to help as much as he could. He lost himself in the process. It took me 20 years to build a machine to broadcast this message back in time. Most of you went mad beyond salvation. The promises of new clothes and weapons is all you look forward to. Here's a little hat. They're just going like a trading server. I don't know if you can escape this hell, but you can definitely avoid it. So for the love of God, don't sign Redmond's contract. Okay, so that's saying don't sign the contract. It's very scary. What's the next video? Don't join Team Red Part 2 clones. The mercenaries are facing new, horrifying monsters.
You there, blue team. I'll double what my rat stink brother is paying you.
Builders League United, Chapter Propaganda, Part 12. The enemy will try to destroy morale and loyalty. Staying loyal to Blutarch Man will always be rewarded. Is it Blutarch or Blutarch? Never forget our favorite slogan. Redmond is your enemy. This is Buns. We are 2 episodes in. We're 2 episodes in. You guys say this every time, by the way. You always say every new horror series we watch is dog shit. And then, like, when we actually get to, like a later one, then it's like, oh, it's keto. It's so good. You didn't listen to me? Was it doubt, greed? Did my first message even reach everyone? Maybe my time machine isn't as accurate as I thought. Hopefully it doesn't broadcast to random folk. Watch what happened to it yesterday.
Out of my way! Out of my way! Go!
Unlucky. Dude, I had no face. Wait, there was a secret message. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for letting me rest. Thank you for giving me peace. Wait, how is he alive if he had no face? How could he breathe? Okay. Guys, you asked me to watch this. You asked me for so many streams to watch this and I kept ducking. The one time I do, people in chat are now saying Slender Scout. They first appeared after I transmitted the previous broadcast. Some watched us from the dark. Sniper didn't sleep the whole night. Doc Ludwig is back to normal. He's studying the situation. So how come he's normal now? His eyes were fucked. Matavish is swearing they're devils. He claims he can sense it. Doc theorizes it could be a defect to the cloning process.
Can't wait for the TF2 movie coming out 2027 starring Pedro Pascal as Spy, Jack Black as Heavy, Tom Holland as Scout, Zendaya as Sniper, Bella Ramsey as D. Motherm and Lizzo as Pyro. Absolute peak cinema.
Ugh. That's funny. Pedro Pascal would somehow work his way into the TF2 film, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Thank you, Retro Robert, for the 10.
Pyro, I've considered your offer. I can't do $1,000, but I am willing to do $100. I have nothing to lose at this point.
$100? Okay, I'll do it for $100, but I don't know if I'll watch it this stream. Too much cloning in a short time overworks the machine. We'll avoid fighting for a few days to let it cool down. Then we'll try to save Soldier and Scout. May God give them patience. Yeah, when did this come out, this series? 2 months ago. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. It's like a lot of these horror series do take a while to pick up. They're almost kind of learning the ropes and what works, what doesn't work, that kind of thing. This is what you'll bring on yourself if you don't listen to me. Okay, the next one. Infiltrator. I finally got in contact with Spy. Base communication has been rough since I started broadcasting to our old selves. It's causing interference to some electronics, and God knows what else. The others have been asking me what my machine is for, why I'm so protective of it. Dr. Ludwig is the most curious one, almost obsessively. I can't blame him, he's a man of science after all. I think he's a little bit evil. I think he's a little bit evil. I lied to them, I'm keeping its real use to just our old selves and I. Server 6 Gorge connected, 2 users connected. Give it time, let them cook with this. These ghouls have gotten more aggressive. Their mangled bodies charge at us without hesitation, guns drawn and shooting wildly. We're forced to shoot back despite our initial plan to avoid bloodshed. The more clones we kill, the more they mutate. After the newer ones can even talk now. Oh yeah, that's like really heavy server blight vibes there. Sniper told me he's seen some ghouls shooting each other at night. I like the first person segments they do here. Server Blight never did that. Server Blight never did first person segments. I think that's pretty cool.
You've been shot.
How are we supposed to get Scout and Soldier back if they do that? Cloning machine will never cool down at this point. Are they getting themselves killed to mutate more? The thought of them being that smart terrifies me. They're sneaking through blind spots as well. I've programmed destroyer sentries that shoot everything in sight. Even us.
The Scary Swiss film project aside, who would you rather fist fight? Gluttonous Squid Game Babby or fuck it? As Harakat Isage Babby. Both of you have prep time. The words.
I would pick up the Squid Game baby and I would throw it off the ledge guaranteed. The only way to get them to target and shoot the clones. I set them up to cover hallways that we don't use. I can deactivate them if I ever need to pass through. Hopefully Sniper can be safer during night watch. Spy should arrive soon. Tavish, on the other hand, seems excessively paranoid. He's suddenly refusing to get treatment from Doc.
Promise I will heal you. You're a devil! A devil!
I had to patch him up myself. Spy received my warning about the destroyers in the hall. You look at that. Did you just say Dr. Disrespect to the engineer? Is this more text flashing? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Why did you do this to me? Why did your machine shoot me? You plotting to get rid of me all along? It's okay, I forgive you. I've seen all the things waiting outside in the dark coming from the hills. You probably haven't met those ones yet. I prefer this end than facing them. You did me a favor. Thank you. I wish I would never respawn. It's so trash. Guys, you are so negative. Stop being so negative. Thank you, Trill Saber, for the 12 months. We checked the intel Spy bought us. I'm starting to believe Tavish. It is a lot of reading, but that is most of these series when they start off. Unlucky. Wait, let me see that face again. I love that face. That is perfection. I love that face. He was a clone. Oh, come on. It's not like the painter. No. Don't say that. Ludwig, it wasn't you. Are you even alive? Please don't leave me. Only 4 of us remain. I am so afraid. I'm afraid of the other 3. Are they real or are they infiltrators waiting to shoot me in the back? So it's kind of like Server Blight, but they're talking more about direct clones as opposed to imitations. They'll broadcast the information Spy provided to us. I hope it reaches you, Traveler. Is in... Okay, we've got number 4 now. How many are there again? 4. 5. Oh, damn. 5 and 6 are both like 20 minutes long. Surely that's when the jump comes in, right? The jumping quality? Surely. Surely.
Hey, Pyro, your impact on the internet is so large, to the point that even Clash of Clans have made their YouTube PFP fat. Also, you should watch Skyrim intro, but it's brain rot. General Alpha slang.
Thank you, Tyros, the 10. Appreciate it. Thank you, Angeles, for joining. Appreciate it. Cloning machine unit status critical. Corruption. So this is like Server Blight kind of, but we know where it came from. It's faulty cloning units, and they're basically cloning them wrong. They're corrupted.
If this somehow helps me land a job, this is the best use of $100 I have ever spent. I hate begging, but I need to work and pay bills. Hope you spend this $100 on something you enjoy and makes you happy. Thank you.
I will spend it on a commission. Thank you, Robert. W's in chat for Robert. I'll tell you what, let me look up your video. I'm not going to watch it this stream, but I will save it so I can watch it. Oh, there you are. What video is it? Didn't you say you did like a video essay or something? Dude, you collect like PS1 games? That's sick. Holy based. Alright, I'll keep that channel saved. I don't know what video you wanted me to watch though. I'm not sure which one. The latest video? The latest video. Alright, yeah, fuck it. We'll watch it now. We'll watch it now.
Hi, Internet. It's me. Job hunting sucks. Job hunting is just the...
Didn't we literally go over this as well? How bad it was to find jobs? Like, especially on job markets and stuff?
I can't even describe how awful the last 6 months have been.
Dude, if you got your video games graded behind you, I bet you've got like a couple $1,000s there, easy.
I can't. It has been nothing but misery.
Notice how he didn't take the PS5 out the case.
I got laid off in January, and that sucks. So I have been looking for a job since. It's the same thing I had to go through last year. Last year I got laid off in January.
Go back to TF2 Slop. This guy gave me $100 to watch this video. I want to watch it.
January of 2024. And it took me until August to find a job. We're approaching that same time frame now, and I somehow have less to show for it. Because the job market in 2025 is hell on earth. I cannot believe it is this hard to get a job. Especially for someone with experience. Like, I'm not here to toot my own horn and say...
It's scary how it's just getting worse and worse as well. Like, I thought...
mankind, but I have
like genuinely, if I didn't do YouTube, I would probably be screwed. Unironically. Like, I've said this before, I wanted to be a doctor and stuff like that, but like, even then it was competitive. And now it's just a million times worse.
Years of experience with multiple Fortune 500 companies. I can't even get my resume looked at.
Bro, become a drop shipper. You don't get it. Open a TikTok account. Start selling kettles on TikTok Shop.
Because everything is done through AI these days. Everything.
Oh, this is legit the video I watched earlier.
And it just drives me up a fucking wall. LinkedIn is a complete... Oh my god, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a complete cesspit. It's just... I don't even know how to describe it without being vulgar. LinkedIn is just...
I did an acting degree in uni. I'm fucked, Lamau.
Fake accounts and recruiters huffing their own farts about how they're so amazing at recruiting people. Yet, if you reach out to any of them, they don't have a job for you. That doesn't help the fact that 60% of the jobs on LinkedIn are fake. They're not real.
Why did you look at the camera when he said fuck? Okay.
I'm not making this number up. I have applied to over 1,000 places since January. I've had 5 interviews. 5.
Yeah, that's mental.
Out of 1,000.
That's really brutal.
99.9% of jobs I've applied to, I have never heard back from. Never. Not a peep. I apply, and off into the ether it goes. Where my resume is harvested for data.
Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned that as well. Yoinked for data. They won't give you the job, and it's like, oh, thanks to data.
Told time and time again, oh, we'd love to hire you. You have a great resume, but your resume needs shaping up. Would you oh my god, I hate the fucking word kindly now. That's become the common phrase for people to use on LinkedIn if they're scammers. They say something along the lines of, would you kindly reach out? Would you kindly
Bioshock reference.
DM me? Kindly send a connection request. Kindly send me your resume. It's like I'm the protagonist of Bioshock.
I made the joke first, by the way. I made the joke first.
I hate...
Would you kindly pick up that shortwave radio?
I hate that I have to make a video on this, but I have no idea what else to do. I am rapidly running out of money. I am rapidly running out of time. I have...
Oh, dude, no. If you're broke and you'll give me $100 hoping to get a job, like someone picks you up, don't do that. If you're like actually financially fucked, don't give me $100. You can charge back on that. Like, I don't do chargebacks ever, but if you do a chargeback on PayPal, that's totally fine. I don't want you to be using the last of your money looking for a job for promotion. Because, like, there's nothing guaranteed here. Like, I'm not going to hire you. I don't have any spots available. And, like, there's probably a very low... There's, like, a near zero chance that anyone here is going to pick you up. Like, if you're actually fucked financially, yeah, don't give me $100, dude.
No clue.
You can charge back on that.
What I could be doing different. I've tried every avenue.
That is him alone, by the way, you fucking brokies. I know your ears picked up there, like, oh, I get to make free donos the whole stream.
Job. I've cold called people. I've reached out to people through LinkedIn, even though I, don't believe that that's the best way. But I mean, it's where the most people are, apparently, even though they're all fake accounts. Somehow.
Can you charge back? No.
I've chased down every lead. I've talked to people I haven't spoken to in 15 years asking for a job. And there's just... I don't get it. There is...
Why would you spend money hoping to get a job? He just wanted his video out there to get more views and stuff.
Nothing.
I mean, by all means, people watching this stream, like, support the guy. Retro Robert, go like drop him a sub or something like that. I'm sure he'd appreciate it a lot.
Spent 4 months at uni for psychology and realized I need to be truly obsessed with the subject to justify
but
30k
yet you go on
of debt.
Indeed,
dropped out
LinkedIn,
and focusing on creative opportunities,
any
and
job
now I am
site,
investing
and
in a
there's
creative
jobs
degree.
open.
Lol.
Okay, great. You apply to all of them.
Thank you, certified neat for the 10.
0 responses. I'm so tired. I'm just so beat down. Like, it's getting to the point where I'm gonna have to get a job and work 12-hour shifts minimum wage just to make it by. And that's not even gonna be enough. I genuinely...
Don't charge back, Pyro. I did this out of desperation. Yeah, you can charge back, dude. That's fine. That's not a problem. I can tell you're pretty desperate at the minute, so no, that's totally fine.
Don't know what to
This
do.
is my last $10 employ me up. Job market is fucked in the law sector.
In the law sector, what market
It's
isn't
either-
fucked?
You apply to a job, and the few times you hear back, oh, the hiring manager's on vacation for 2 weeks. You won't hear back for 2 weeks. Oh, we did an interview. Yeah, we'll get back to you in 3 to 5 weeks. Oh, cool. You completed an assessment? Well, you didn't score high.
What happened with Hire Me Pyro? He actually works for me now. I'm not even joking. The Hire Me Pyro guy actually ended up getting a job. Not initially, but I recently hired him, like, I think about a month ago.
enough on the assessment. So instead of even considering you for this role,
Yeah, he actually he's an editor for the main channel now. It's like it's actually over.
which by the way,
The meme actually became reality. Unironically, the meme actually became reality.
more than enough
And he's also a furry as well, which is very disappointing.
experience for, you're just gone. No, and you can't. Oh, and here's the thing: you can't take the assessment again for 6 fucking months because I don't know. Because I don't know. I don't know anymore. I genuinely don't know. If you can't tell, I'm like heartbroken at this. I genuinely don't know what to do. Thousands of applications. And just nothing to show from it.
I mean, there's so many things you could do though. Like, you know, you've got all those video games behind you. What if you got into like reviewing video games or, you know, making TikToks about that kind of stuff? And also, if you collect video games, like, unironically, I mean, I see Castlevania up there. Isn't that worth a fair bit? Like, these old games now, some of these are worth hundreds, if not thousands, if they're graded properly. To be fair, though, the grading process is very expensive as well. I forget how expensive the grading... like, to get it graded officially, it is actually like it's like $100. It's really stupid.
Don't know what to do. Look, I'm making this video... I wanted to make this video being hopeful and being like, hey, you know...
He becomes a slop channel. Could you actually imagine?
Keep applying, you'll get a job, but like, I don't believe that. I don't believe I'm gonna get a job out of all of this.
Make AI movie breakdown shorts.
And that sucks. I'm 30 years old, I have a college education, which doesn't mean shit, by the way, because everyone and their mom has a bachelor's of science in computer science. Everyone is a coder these days. Everyone is a software engineer. I'm fighting against everyone to get my foot in the door when I have the most experience.
He's a software engineer. There's a lot of people in that field.
I can't even get entry-level positions to look back at me. Everything is just, well, we're considering other
Yeah, the don't sell the video games. They increase in value every year. That's also true. If you take care of them, I mean.
We're considering other people. What other people? What other people are coming to you saying, hey, I will work for this amount of money and I have 6 years of experience to bring to the table. You only want 2. I have 3 times that amount. Hire me. I want to work.
You need to strike the lucky
I'm not
part.
just someone sitting by. I don't like.
That's why getting a job fucking sucks.
I don't like the fact that I'm gonna have to sell everything behind me. I don't like the fact that I'm gonna have to ask my parents for help. I hate it.
I mean, it's cringe asking your parents for help, but at the same time, like, you should also be very grateful that you have the opportunity that you can ask your parents for help as well, even though it's like, it is pretty like demoralizing.
Despise it.
Honestly, videos like this, they really like, because when you do YouTube and stuff, it becomes a little bit secular. You wake up, you do videos, you stream. Your world just kind of becomes around the content you make, and you're always looking at like other YouTubers that are doing better than you and stuff, you know, like getting more views. Like, for example, you know, like you'll always see like, oh, Critical beat me to a topic, oh, it's over, the video's gonna flop. But it's like, seeing videos like this of people like genuinely struggling, it really humbles me a lot to show me how fucking easy my job is and how easy my life is genuinely. And that goes for pretty much all YouTubers and streamers. Like, genuinely, just we really don't understand how easy we have it. It's crazy. Thank you, DJ, for the 13. Everyone thinks they're the most experienced person applying. They can't sit there thinking they're entitled to the job. and turn your nose up at minimum wage jobs. I mean, if he doesn't have a choice, yeah, minimum wage would help pay the bills and stuff, definitely.
Look, if anyone out there in the ether has anything to offer me, I'm hoping this video somehow blows up so that I can get a job. But I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't believe that's going to happen for a second. So, throughout...
Okay, I know this sounds really cringe, and this sounds like the stupidest advice ever, but I think while applying for jobs, the one thing you could do is buy yourself a journal and just, like, start writing down all your thoughts and all your ideas, like, where you could be, what you want to apply, what makes you happy. Because I feel like when you're in times like this, your mental health is, like... Your mental health really dictates if you're going to be in the mindset of we're so back or it's over. And obviously coming from me, like, multi-millionaire streamer, like, it's just such a fucking entitled thing to say, right? But your mental health is so important. Like, even if it's just going out for a walk for, like, an hour a day or something, you know, getting your steps in. Like, once you get that change in your brain chemistry, it really does give you... It helps you understand a lot of opportunities that you didn't think you actually had in the first place.
This whole video, there's been an email at the bottom of the screen. And it'll be in the description too.
You're seeing a therapist right now? Okay, that's good to hear.
You can email me with job opportunities. I am in the U.S. I'm a U.S. citizen, because I know that matters in some cases. I don't have one, but I have the ability to get a security clearance. I know that matters for some jobs too. I don't need sponsorships. I don't need any of that bullshit. Hell, I'm willing to relocate. Just literally anything at this point. Please.
The government should help people. Anyways. Bruh. Yeah, and Jesus should come down from the heavens and just give everyone some wine as well.
I'm begging. Please. Please. So, that's where my life is right now.
Yeah, obviously the fucking government should help. Are they gonna do it, though?
No.
Alright, I'd like people on this stream to definitely drop this guy's sub. Retro Robert. We'll probably stick this on the TV channel as well to see if it picks up any more traction. But yeah, wish you the best, man. That's a really bad situation to be in. But yeah, charge back on that dono. I don't want to take $100 from you, especially if you're in that position. Right. Anyways. Back to the spook. I'm conquering more of Redmond's territory. He'll be angry when he finds out. Yes, Blue Tark, congrats. But something bothers me. You're wasting the potential of my beautiful war machines. What are you talking about? It just looks like the G-Man. Those territories you're happy about, they were abandoned. Your troops couldn't find a single red. It's like they disappeared off Earth. I mean, that was my plan, yes. I strike where they least expect me to. You're bringing million-dollar war engines where you don't expect the enemy to be. You're lying. You lying, clueless fool. Send scouts to find reds. I need data for my investors. How will I evaluate my tech if you keep marching it to abandoned towns? You'll shoot ghosts. I don't care. You're paid. My money, my rules. What matters is I'm finally winning against my brother. Who is the guy with the mustache? Isn't that like the VIP from like the original Team Fortress game? Our last broadcast was interrupted. We lost power. I have some good news. Tavish is thankfully not dead.
To the morons that say get a minimum wage job, to that guy, some people literally can't get jobs at McDonald's because they're overqualified, and McDonald's doesn't want to hire someone who will jump ship as soon as they get something better.
Yeah, isn't that the irony? And then places like Twitter, that's exactly the point of why people get the job. So they can say that they've worked at Twitter to get their foot in the door in like a self-invest company or something, like a startup. About the electricity, the ghouls disabled our power generator. Smart. They want to force us to come outside. Is that the Five Nights at Freddy's power down sound? Heavy lifted our spirits. We're full of adrenaline. It drowns the fear a little. See, these animations here are actually like really solid though. Like when it's not just words, 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 and it shows the actual like, yeah, like this stuff is actually really solid.
TF2 analog horror. Stop the hate, it's a lot better than the annoying orange.exe slop we got last week.
Annoying orange.exe. Oh, you're on about that moon thing, right? I actually got PTSD hearing the GTA lock-on sound effect. This wasn't just a mindless rush, it was a coordinated attack. They're using tactics now. I finished repairing our generator. We didn't stay a second longer outside. As we ran back inside, I couldn't ignore the glowing eyes watching us from the hills. Let's talk about Spy's intel. He recovered a mix of strange drawings and classified receipts. The receipts were for cloning machines. Redmond bought more behind our back. Davish's devil's theory only made more sense in the heat of the moment. After some thinking, I came with a more scientific theory. I'm thinking Redmond is trying to clone a new generation of mercenaries. The strange drawings could be designs. Problem is that Moron is not qualified to operate the machines. He probably maximized all parameters, thinking that more is better. His theory makes sense to me. This is why our friends turned into monsters. Tavish, of course, isn't convinced. Resetting the cloning machines is our priority. I wish Doc Ludwig was here. He knew the location of the original one. Things are a bit calmer in the morning. Most of the ghouls hide away. Heavy suggested I attempt to contact Blue about our situation.
Oh, brilliant. Nice.
At noon, another sniper spotted a plane in our airspace. Normally, it would gun down intruders, but circumstances have changed. We shot a distress flare at it, a call for help. It ignored us. I'll attempt to contact Blue while the others prepare for the night and clean up the dead bodies from the ground. It's urgent. I have excellent news. A scouting plane found an active red base. Look at this photo. I see 100 of them. They're definitely plotting something. That's where they've been hiding. Base Gorge. They even shot at my poor plane. They're taunting you. It's your chance to deal a major blow to Redmond by killing all those men in a swift attack. My chance to get data on my war engines. I'll get the Conqueror ready. Said the distress signal came from Base Gorge. Looks like they moved here without you. Have you gotten a fight or something? I don't understand why they left me behind. You were boarded up in the mine shaft, but it's strange that they didn't come looking. Must be getting pretty bad out there if he's contacting his sworn enemies for help. protect me from those devils. They must have been cornered. I knew that cloning technology would be a mistake. Dead man should stay dead, not come back next day as if nothing happened. We're nothing more than flesh and artificial memories. A machine can't create a soul. Redmond was desperate to break the gravel wall stalemate and conquer these lands. He turned to dark arts seeking war-ending power, dooming his soul and sacrificing us. He got his wish, but he didn't get control over it. Now please, I need your medic. My eyes hurt. Okay, I can really... I'm looking at chat right now, and you guys really do not like this. You really... Like, is everyone agreeing that this is slop? I don't think it's that... I genuinely don't think it's that bad. I really don't think it's that bad. I think, like, some of the series they're doing, like, some of the animation stuff is, like, really good. Make a poll. Alright. I'll tell you what, actually, I'm probably going to end stream now. The fatigue has literally just hit me like a train, I think. And I got to pack for tonight as well, because I got my flight on Friday. Alright. I'm going to call it now. Me pretty tired. But thank you for joining. Thank you for everyone that gave the subs and the donos. I will be streaming again. When will I be streaming again? I'll be streaming probably in about 4 days from now, maybe. That's when I'll be in Australia. I imagine the setup is going to be pretty scuffed because we don't get internet or Wi-Fi until midweek. I mean, I was even thinking of like buying Wi-Fi and just doing a stream on the plane. Could you imagine how like fucked that would be? I think that could be pretty funny. But yeah, thank you all for joining. I appreciate it. Next stream will be in fucking Australia. So yeah, have a good night, guys. Take care.